We got Meat Sweats Big Ray in the building for a late night edition of Open Bar. I love seeing Mark in the comment section. Man's working his ass off, so shout out to Mark. He started off every stream. I want to say the first 4 months of these streams with a let's get it and watch every one. Now he's a working man. He's grinding. He still finds a way to get on here. Appreciate you, my dude, Mark. Mark, I'm also going to send you a shirt here soon since you're one of the number one super fans of this show. We have Jonathan in here. The newest professional fanatic in the Patreon. He did that to play Dynasty with us. We appreciate Jonathan with the super chat to start the show. Ray, we had a hell of a day today. 18 holes, 5 hours. Took a long time with the people not the people we were paired with. They were all right, but people in front of us. It was a slow round. It was a fun round. Some beers. You shotgun a beer. We went to an awesome Chinese buffet. I am still very, very full from that, Ray. I had like 5 fucking cups of ice cream too. I love that shit.
Yeah, you'll be shitting your britches later big time.
Oh, I already shit twice since coming home, and it was glorious. Here's Big Ray in all of his glory. This is his first wave here. 4 plates. Although the one plate they prepared for you, Ray, you didn't eat it because the guy sucked. He did it hibachi style. I mean, there was nothing on it.
Yeah, I mean, you tasted it, right? Like there wasn't even like salt on it. Like not even like he put sauce on it, but like I don't know. Like I hate to be that way, but like I need at least salt on something. There was like no fucking flavor to it. It was literally like
Big Ray does not waste food. If you're new to the show, guys, get your comments in. This is Open Bar. This is NFL Fantasy. This is Free Agency. This is NFL Draft Questions. This is anything goes on this show. We'll be chugging beers. Drink along with us. Hit up the comment section. Talk some smack. Have some fun. We also played golf today, Ray, and I have the scorecard. Ray says, he said before the round, he plays like 5 rounds a year. He's like, I always shoot 118. Lo and behold, Ray with a 119. Guy's consistent as shit. Hold to hole, shot to shot, very inconsistent, but his scores are always so consistent. We're both very consistent, just in different ways.
Frig off.
Yeah. Hey, I am very happy with anytime I shoot under par, I'm very happy. It's an easy course, but it's also March. It's only my 3rd round of the year. So coming in cold to shoot that score with the greens that as bad as they were, a couple 3-putt bogeys there. But yeah, what up, baby? It was fun. It was a great time.
Yes, sir.
It was a great time. All right, gonna get some football stuff here shortly. I want to talk to you about the Jalen Waddle trade. Ray, you're gonna love this picture. I'm gonna put this up here. Look at how skinny I was before I started eating Chinese food. Look at how skinny I was. You recognize that, dude?
Yeah.
About 80 pounds ago. 80 pounds ago. So, all right, gonna get some football stuff here. I do want to play this clip because I promised. I think it was Dakota. I don't know who it was. They wanted some Grandma's Boy clips. So I'm gonna pop this in here. You're gonna love this one.
They're smart.
Whenever
smart.
I sometimes when I make a good point and then you say good point, I really pat myself in the back just because that's kind of who I am.
Yeah.
This is perfect for that.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. That is a great idea.
Those are the only kind I have.
I can hear my hair growing. You want some soup?
So you know the funniest thing about that movie? I specifically remember going to see that movie in middle school in the theaters, absolutely loving it. Clearly, if you know, how could you not? But then, of course, it was only in theaters for like literally 2 weeks. I think I saw it opening weekend, and it was gone like before the blink of an eye. And you know, what's actually funny about that is Nick Swartzen was talking about that movie, and that it was such a disaster, like in the box office, but then they made up all their money and then some in the DVD sales. But then, you know, what was actually funny is that it was the number 1 stolen DVD at the time from Blockbuster. or shall I say,
Nick Swartzen is a legend. Your bet is a car. Yeah, it's a really sweet car though. My roommate's talking about getting me rims or maybe a CB radio. I can talk with other car beds. Fucking
high
weird.
Score?
Mouth says, "What up, fuckers?"
Did I break it?
What up, fuckers? What's going on, Mouth? By the way, guys,
Mouth.
Downtown Sports. I'm gonna put the link in here. What up, fuckers? One $10 and one $3 banger, according to Rob. He's talking about his underdog drafts. Which team is better, the $10 or the $3? 10 is the Chiefs stack. Guys, check out the Discord. He's posting his teams in there. The one he did last night, me, Mouth, and Dakota did a draft together. And it's possibly one of the best drafts I've seen this year. And it also helped that we had a guy in that league that took Joe Burrow in the first round. He took Travis Kelce at pick 30, 100 picks at ADP. So this guy had 5 quarterbacks. So a lot of value fell to you. But shout out to Mouth for just an epic.
Can we get that guy like a league of ours so we can just take his money for free? What the fuck?
Yeah, Coyote, I'm just a lowly peasant. May I ask a question? No one's a lowly peasant around here. And yes, you can ask a question, Coyote. Coyote Ugly. What a interesting movie. Anyways, Mouse South, check out his teams in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, details on the top ticker, or just go to the Patreon. Get in the community, guys. It's really easy. It's really cheap. Join the community. And I also want to shout out Downtown Sports, guys. Every single Tuesday, just once a week, him and Beast do a great job. Host a great show where sports come home. A little bit more real life driven for fantasy than fantasy. But here we go. Oh, Dakota, you missed the Grandma's Boy clip. I'll have to play it in a little bit. I don't want to play it back to back, but Dakota's in here. He must have missed the notification. Anyways, Mouse South, Downtown Sports. Check it out. Also, Mark with a $10 banger. Appreciate you, dude. Mark says, I got tomorrow off, luckily, so you already knew I had to come through. Shirts look dope as fuck. Will look good with the matching hat. Missed you, boys. Glad to see Big Ray on tonight as well. Hashtag get fucking raid. Yeah, dude, we got the shirts. We're all decked out here. What is I have all different sizes. I told my parents did it for me. They made them and everything. And I was like, just get, I think large XL and double X is good. I got some smalls, bro. And I guess I can give that to my wife and some like females in my life. Not like other females, because I'm a pretty monogamous dude. But I was like, I'm gonna wear the small on one of these open bar shows. Because if you go back to one of the first episodes we ever shot of the show, me and the original guy, Rob Square, my buddy Rob Kappa, we both thought it was a great idea to wear Erica's shirts, like tank tops, on the show. And we did 3 hours, 4 different episodes. It's on there. If you go back to the old, it's like the 3rd or 4th video we shot, and we are hammered. We have a really good conversation about football, but wearing her fucking clothes. And I feel like a small is right in that same vein. So Ray, it'd be like you wearing a large or a medium, maybe, because you got a double X that fits you pretty well. This is an XL. They're pretty formed. They're not bad shirts.
Oh no. I could get a small on and it would be quite hilarious.
Yeah. Mouth, you already got a 2X coming your way, my dude. I'm going to be sending those out shortly. So, yeah. Here we go. Ray needs to wear a small. He'd look like a feminist in a tube top. You got to get the blue hair going too, though, you know?
My titties be looking extra fine. I'll be saying that.
Ray, you do have some breasts. You definitely have just a little bit. By the way, guys, shout out. Let's pour one out for Chuck Norris, who passed away. Ray, do you have any Chuck Norris stories? Anything that cuts home to you? Because the guy was an American hero, right? Texas Walker Ranger, baby. Texas Ranger.
He's absolute it is sad and devastating to a point. Just because when I say devastating, like obviously no one but anything, but it's like he was just like an action icon. Like literally like larger than life. You know what I mean? Like all
86
the jokes.
Though, it's pretty good, but Chuck Norris was supposed to live to 120. You can't kill Chuck Norris.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've heard this, right? Like there's no theory of evolution. Just a list of creatures Chuck Norris allowed to live. You know what I mean? Come on. The Chuck Norris
I find
so good.
You know who the craziest living that's pretty long to live to 86 for a man. You know who is what's even crazier is that Hunter S. Thompson lived till 67, and he killed himself. He shot himself in the head, so he didn't die from health stuff. And Hunter S. Thompson did more drugs, smoked and drank, and did acid, you name it, bro, coke, more than anyone his entire life. So is that good genes, or was Hunter S. Thompson just a mutant? You know what I mean? How did he live so long?
You got me.
Have you ever seen the he was pretty regimented in his writing routine in his day-to-day life, and he documented what a day in his life was, and he'd sleep till he would write until 5 in the morning, and he would sleep 3 in the afternoon, and then he'd start his day, and it was documented to almost every cigarette he smoked. It was coffee, cigarette, coke. He'd do acid late at night. Dude, he'd had a giant meal at 5 or 6. It was the one meal he'd eat. And dude, he would drink like 20 drinks a day. He's probably doing like 20 wines a day. He's taking LSD like every day. This was his fucking life, bro. And the dude made it to 67. And you know the reason why he said he killed himself? Because he was a big football fan. He said he couldn't wait for the NFL season to start. So it'd be like us doing this stream right now in March. Be like, fuck, I can't wait fucking 5 months. Now, killing yourself isn't going to make the NFL season start any faster. But like literally, that's what he said. Like,
it's a bold move, Con. It's a bold move. I will say this though, Rob. Like, so when did this guy die?
Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah. Just give me a rough idea. I don't
2005. 2005,
2005.
February
Okay.
20th.
So I'm just saying in general, all the food and everything, man. People, I mean, that's why like our great grandparents and shit lived to 100 and were smoking and drinking all the fucking time because that's what killed them slowly instead of all the processed food and everything that just open like and every fucking day, like all the chemicals and everything that just kill us much more quickly. And then you add alcohol, you add smoking, all that shit, it accelerates it. So I'm saying with him, what you're talking about, he doesn't have all those other aspects to kill him faster. He was just going not even a zero. There was no zero with that guy. It was just straight 100. He did 100.
Dude, Keith Richards.
Perfect example.
He's 82.
Yeah,
and he's actually, I think, legally died multiple times. I know one time for sure in an elevator.
He just had a kid. He just had a kid like within the last 2 years.
How does that dude? I know dick pills are a thing. How does that dude even get a boner? Like, I'm just saying, 82 with the amount of drugs he's done.
I'm just
saying.
I'm also saying that's just selfish to do, bro. He's gonna be dead, and his son will be like 5. So, like, I mean, at least the kid will have his money, so you know he'll live a good life. But there's no dad. But
Ray, we owe a beer chug here. Thanks to Mouth. And this is a good call from Mouth. He didn't die. He left the earth on his favorite number. I'm going to play a little clip just in memory of our boy, and rest in peace, Chuck Norris.
Why don't you meet the other contestants while I go register you?
Hello, I'm, Stephanie Griffin.
Hi, Stephanie.
What's your talent?
I sing, I do gymnastics, and I can play 7 instruments at the same time.
You could be a threat to me. Chuck!
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
Dude, I mean,
the fist in his fucking beard.
The fist in his beard, that joke is so epic, dude. So good.
Mouth, by the way, Iron Sheik, drank and coke and crack addict and smoked and etc., etc. 81 years old. He humbled addiction. And he was a wrestler, right? So like also on top of that being huge, which you know the bigger you are, usually the shorter you live. It was him versus Hulk. Like, Andre the Giant.
That was the big thing during the 80s, since you know, like we were fighting Iran again. Now we are, but I'm saying back then where it was against Iran, and he was from I think he is what he was supposed to be playing from Iran, and then Hulk being the All-American guy, so he played the perfect heel, like literally
kind of
cricket.
Like cricket, the Taliban, yeah,
exactly.
America sucks, terrorist rule.
You got me. Oh shit, cricket was there an edge? Shit. And then Frank just looks around, hands up in the air. I am He plays the fucking Hulk Hogan music, classic.
I love that. All right, let's get this chug on board here, buddy. You know what? Fuck it. I'll save the light. I have Busch Lights to chug, but I'm drinking this this pretty special Mexican lager here. I got from Jewel, the Brews beer section, but I think it's pretty good stuff. It's not really good chugging beer, but you know what? I'm gonna chug this first, then I'll go to my Busch Light chugs after this. But let's go. Nice cold one. You know what's weird, Ray? We had 6 beers on the golf course. We had all that food at the buffet. This is my first beer since. So like we essentially took like, I don't know about you, like 5 hours off from drinking. It's pretty weird to just do that and then go back. All right, you ready? You want to race?
Well, I was gonna say I got this IPA, so I can't do it's a 10%er. So I'm just
okay, Jesus. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's equal to a full one. All right, you ready? Let's race. Actually, you should beat me, but I chug pretty fast. All right, race. Ooh, that was smooth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So was the Iron Sheik actually like a foreigner, or was he just playing a foreigner?
No. Like he's Middle Eastern for sure. I'm just not sure if he was from Iran, which is the character he was supposed to be playing, but he was definitely a Middle Eastern.
That would play really good right now, wouldn't it? With Iran and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Play.
What Hunter should do, Triple H, should bring back his son. His son. Okay, he was from Iran. Okay.
Sheik was from Iran. Lived in Fayetteville, Georgia for 45 years as a wrestler. But yes, he was from Tehran.
Tehran. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Thank
So
you,
let's
Ralph.
talk.
Thank
let's
you
talk
for
a little
doubling
football.
down.
Guys, get your comments in one more time. Shout out to Mouth South and Downtown Sports. Mouth will probably be coming on the show in the next week or so. We have some stuff to talk about. Also, we'll be talking about some NFL draft stuff in April. Definitely need him to come on because he knows his shit. But Downtown Sports, boys, link in the description. If you're in the Discord, he mentioned his teams earlier, especially the one he drafted last night. Vote on which team you like better, and then you can put it in the comment section of this video, and we'll chat it out. I got the best grade for the last team we drafted, but the first one I got the third because these guys had great teams. So Jalen Waddle, we haven't really talked too much about the trade. Ray, what are your initial thoughts? Also, Miami is, they were in cap purgatory, and with Tua and with Tyreek, it's been rough, and they just gave away their best offensive player besides A-Chain, their only passing game weapon.
Who they refused to trade?
They were going to be bad. Yeah, they might trade him, but they were going to be bad before this, and they're going to be really bad. There's 3 teams right now that I can pinpoint. Cardinals are going to be awful just based on their division, the lack of talent. And then the Dolphins might be the worst of the bunch, even though Malik Willis gives them some upside. And then the Jets, like those 3 teams. And I'll give you, I think the Raiders just based on their division, but I have some hope for what they're doing. But those 3 teams are like, I think we bet the under. They're all like 4.5 wins. I think we bet the under on all those because they're going to win 2 games. I think the Cardinals might win 1 game.
They're definitely.
So, what are your initial thoughts on Jalen Waddle? For fantasy, you like it with the Broncos?
I'm just saying the trade in general for the Broncos is just bad. Like way too much to give up. But for fantasy, I like it because he's got a different style of gameplay than Cortland Sutton does. So, do we give a more complete offensive weapons and whatnot, so especially that receiving core. So, I mean, for just the actual offense and fantasy, I like it a lot. But here's the thing. Where did Waddle go to college?
Alabama, 5th overall draft pick.
Okay, so Alabama, I'm assuming that means he grew up in the South somewhere, got drafted by Miami, goes to Miami, now he's going to Denver. I understand a lot of people don't really want to look into things when it comes to like geographical things when it comes to weather and stuff, but like I'm just saying a guy who never has played in that type of weather, I'm just saying it could be a thing that people. Let's put it this way: I think he's gonna be overdrafted this upcoming fantasy season, and me personally, where he'll be drafted, I'm just a little leery of how well he'll be able to play in this extreme cold weather in the mountains and all, and it's a big difference playing in Denver compared to Miami. I mean, literally, like talking elevation wise. I mean, Miami is a swamp, and we're talking in the mountains, so it will be interesting. I like it on the surface. It'll be interesting to see how it works out.
If he stayed with the Dolphins and they didn't really bring, let's say they drafted Casey Concepcion at the end of the first round, who seems more like a project, and he was with Malik Willis as the one. Would you like it better if he stayed with Malik Willis for his fantasy stock or going to Bo Nix and a little bit more of a crowded room, probably more of a run first team? Is it kind of a lateral move? Because I think people are going to look at it as a plus for him because he's playing with Bo Nix now. Right. I see it more of a lateral move, maybe a little negative. I see some more upside there because the touchdown upside might be there, but the volume probably won't be there. So what do you think?
Well, as you and I well know, but we've talked about this. For me, I love people who get the volume, and that's exactly it. If Waddle stayed in Miami, they would be down every fucking game. So admittedly, during a fantasy game, this upcoming season, if he stayed with Miami, a normal game would probably roll around something like this. You draft him wherever the hell you draft him, you start him, and then the first half of that game, you get like 2-3 catches, 20, 30 yards or something like that, and you're freaking out because he's having a bad first half. And then the game gets out of hand, and then they pass the rest of the game, and all of a sudden the garbage time comes around, and all of a sudden he's got 15, 20 points, and you're like, holy shit, like, hell yeah. Now with Denver, I'm with you. They are a run first team. There's more weapons. And in general, they're going to be wanting to win games. So they're going to be the way that they're going to be coaching and scheming their offense is going to be much different than what Miami's going to do, because Miami just doesn't care right now what happens. They want the first pick next year. That's clear. It's clear as day. So, I mean, personally, I'm with you. I would have liked him better staying with Miami, just be able to be the number one, get all the volume with Malik Willis, who seems to be ascending. I mean, we'll see what happens, but nonetheless, I would love him to be the number one there. I mean, they traded for him. He's going to be the de facto number one in Denver, but Cortland Sutton's there. There's a lot of Tim Patrick.
Bo Nix spreads the ball around a lot.
Correct.
David, I'm going to get to your dynasty question here in a second. Let's wrap up Jalen Waddle. For me, the biggest takeaway is this solidifies, and I've had a weird relationship with Bo Nix because coming out of the draft, I actually had Bo Nix as my quarterback 3 that year. Okay. It was Drake. I had Jaden Daniels like 4. So I had Bo Nix ahead of Jaden Daniels, which actually doesn't seem that crazy now. I had Caleb and then Drake, and then obviously Bo Nix 3, and then 4 was Drake May. What a great class, by the way. Taking away JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix. JJ McCarthy, gross. Sorry, Wally. But it solidifies. And then I've been down on Bo Nix as a fantasy asset, and everyone was like, he's elite after his rookie year. He's been really erratic. Even this past year, it was really erratic, but he still had 400 yards rushing and 5 rushing touchdowns. So that's a nice floor. Now you add in Jalen Waddle. So for me, this is a Bo Nix thing where
right. I can agree with
quarterback 8. That was way too high. Now he's like quarterback 9, quarterback 10, another year of experience, Sean Payton's offense. Now you get a legit field stretcher. Now Marvin Mims is that guy. Marvin Mims is the gadget player. Jalen Waddle, as harsh as I am as a critic about him, about leaving games early, not always being available, kind of being a bitch over the middle. The dude is, in terms of real life effect, he's a great sacrificial player. He's fine for stats and all that stuff, but he's the guy that takes the top off the defense, and they had no one to really threaten that. And such a nice pairing with Cortland Sutton, because Jalen Waddle, you wouldn't think that he is an elite player against zone. You think he's more of a man beater, but actually he is way better against zone. And Cortland Sutton is your prototypical X receiver against man. So you have 2 different options there, depending on what to do at tight end. So this is a really big deal for me, for Bo Nix. And I think that for the the Broncos, they had the most quiet offseason free agency period of any team. They didn't do it. They didn't have any guys that were free agents. They didn't sign anyone. They didn't lose anyone. It's just status quo. They brought back J.K. Dobbins. But I like the move. I don't like the what they gave up, because I put this graphic up here of, I know Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle has something like a $5 million cap hit only due to the trade because he's getting so much money from Miami. Michael Pittman, they had to restructure his deal. They're paying him something like, I don't know if it's like $15-17 million a year, but a 6th rounder for Michael Pittman is thievery. And the Colts, I don't know what they're doing. Crazy. Michael Pittman is 85% of Jalen Waddle, if you ask me. If anything, he's a more productive player. Jalen Waddle has more of that inherent upside because what he does on the field in terms of field stretching and just speed. Speed is very, very valuable in the NFL. But I just can't believe a 6th rounder and then a 1st and a 3rd. I know it's essentially a 2nd and a 4th because it's late in the rounds, but
nonetheless,
here we go. Let's get the mouse
super. I'm saying real quick, I'm 100% with you, though, that I just love the addition for the Broncos offense because he adds a different element to what they needed.
Yeah, Malik Willis took less to be a Finn. He'd have gotten $35 million, $30 million guaranteed to be a Jets starting quarterback with the Jets. And Willis said he signed with Miami because he wanted to win the trade. It was also not even, okay, I don't think he knew he could win this year, but it's a better situation than the Jets because there's nothing worse than the Jets. I think for him, he's looking at, because it's a shorter deal. Essentially, I think it's only 2 years guaranteed. He's looking at that next contract. And what do we know about the Jets? You go to the Jets, look what happened to Justin Fields. Now, I'm not saying Justin Fields is great, but that's solidified essentially the end of his career as a starting quarterback. And Malik Willis was not going to thrive. They have better weapons. They have a better talent on offense. I love Adonai Mitchell. I love Mason Taylor. And then Garrett Wilson's a stud. But it's the fact that you're going to play for the Jets. And, bad weather, tougher, same division, but just – I think he was like, I'll make more in the long run by signing with Miami, and it just sucks they traded Jalen Waddle. But I've been saying this about Willis. He's one of these guys. He can do more with less because he's such a threat with his legs that you don't need a bunch of weapons around him. It's not like Jared Goff. Jared Goff needs weapons because Jared Goff's not a difference maker. I'm not saying Malik Willis is better than Jared Goff. I'm saying that Malik Willis can operate an offense with a bunch of 2s and 3s because he's going to extend plays. he can, he can actually operate with a bad offensive line, for instance. Like, he can do more with less. The numbers aren't going to be great, but I do love Malik Willis for fantasy this year because that dude, how many rushing yards is he going to average a game? 45, 40? He's going to be running, dude.
The only thing I'll say with Mouth's comment is that Mouth, sure, like, if I believe what you're saying, because I know you know your stuff. Like, if he took less money to be a Finn, but there's no income tax in Florida. There's a major income tax in New York. So again, I'm gonna say, Rob, everything you said, I 100% I agree and believe, because the Jets is the Johnsons and just don't know how to run shit up there. It's terrible. So that I 100% agree with. I'm just more saying also the piggyback that it was probably a double entendre, to be honest. Like why would I go ruin to your point? Because that's why he took the 3-year deal. He's waiting until the contracts, because what's like he does well and he cashes in. And like everything he wants works out. He will be getting $60 million, $50 million a year in 3 years, 2 years, because that's exactly what's going to happen with Caleb Williams and the Bears. If Caleb Williams continues to do what he's doing, he'll be getting 50, 60 million his next contract. So that's exactly to your point why Malik Willis did this shorter contract, try to solidify himself. Because then here's the thing too: the Dolphins are so bad, and if he shows improvement but just can't like win because the team's so bad, a team. Let's just say Mahomes. I know Mahomes not gonna retire in 2 years. But let's say like for them, the Chiefs, he retires and Malik Willis is awesome. The Chiefs would be like, okay, I might be more inclined to maybe give him money. I know they just trade for Fields, and that's what they're more going to try to do. But I'm getting at. It's just that. Either way, nonetheless, I agree with you. He did the right thing. He's in Miami, not New York.
Yeah,
that's
nice weather.
That's all you got to say.
Malik Willis also a great kid too. Every interview I've seen,
right.
Seems like a guy you want in your building. David, this is David's dynasty question. Sorry it took so long, dude. Which tight end should I drop and keep in dynasty? So let's kind of rank these for him. Gatson, Ferguson from the Rams, likely Sanders from the Panthers, or Ben Sinnett. So I'll go first. Ben Sinnett's probably lowest on this list because Zach Ertz may or may not return later in the year, but they paid Okonkwo. They may draft a middle round tight end, late round tight end who they apparently don't like Ben Sinnett. I like Ben Sinnett a lot, but he had the opportunity last year when Ertz went down and they were playing Bates. They were not like, he was not getting the full-time role. So he's probably last. It's almost in the order that you have it, with likely being higher. So Sanders is second to last. Highest, I'm going to have Gatson as highest, just because with Mike McDaniel there, and he looks good. He's a field stretching tight end. And then is better for short-term value. I think Ferguson might have the better long-term value than likely, just because Sean McVay he's turned into a tight end whisperer, and eventually they're not going to have 4 guys. And they don't even have a lot of good guys. It's literally Tyler Higbee. It's Parkinson. It's Ferguson. So I think for this year, it's Gatson and likely pretty close, but I give Gatson the edge because he's younger, and then Ferguson and likely would be the other guy. So you agree?
I'm just very confused with Sinnett because was he not a second round pick for them? Am I wrong about that? Okay.
Kansas State, man. I loved his film. I've loved him for 2 years, as a deep sleeper.
Honestly, I thought he was going to be a rookie sleeper, like a late round guy that would turn up, second half of the year. Never anything his whole career. Yeah. I don't know what's up with him, but they clearly don't like him. I'm with you. I would switch. I mean, I don't know. I might switch likely in Ferguson, but in the order you got, I just drop Sinnett, man. Like, there's no reason to keep him going because they, like you just said, they were playing Bates last year. They don't believe in him. They're going to draft. I would be shocked if they don't draft the tight end this year. So at some point. So yeah, just drop Sinnett and be done with it.
All right. Monty playing in Houston is amazing for him. Now his sister can watch him every week. If you don't recall, we talked about this during the streams. Chaz actually brought this up in the live show because Chaz is a G. Monty's from Houston, and his daughter, or it's not his daughter, his sister she's handicapped or something like that, and she can't leave, so she doesn't get a chance to see him play in person. And the game that they had in Houston this year, that's when he had he threw a touchdown on the 5-yard line. He had 2 touchdowns. He ran a touchdown and he threw a touchdown. That's what Dan Campbell does for his players. He will follow storylines and get his guys the work when they need it. But playing in Houston, I love it. What do you think about David Montgomery? His price in terms of underdog in these early drafts hasn't really risen that much. He was 75 overall. Now he's 58, 60 overall. That's a 5th round pick, man. And I think he's a value there. Now they like Woody Marks. So the pass catching is not going to be great. And obviously it's a downgrade in terms of efficiency and like touchdowns because Houston, now it'll be better, but Houston's really bad at goal line efficiency, opposite of what Detroit was. But he should get, what would you project the workload split to be for the whole year for Woody, like just touches wise for Woody Marks and David Montgomery?
Did they pay Montgomery or did they just take the contract? I can't remember if they re-signed him to a new contract.
I think they did. I know they traded for him. So I don't know
thought
exactly.
they did.
Someone let me know in the chat what they did. It's not much. It's like because he was making like 8 or 9 million, so it's actually a decent amount of money. And regardless, Woody Marks is a 2nd-year player that they drafted in the 4th round, so it's not like Woody Marks also can never stay on the field. When you give that guy work, he's in the blue 10 every game.
Yeah. I mean, nonetheless, I still think it'll be between 60, 40, 70, 30, right in that middle somewhere. Between Monty will get 70 to 30 or 70, 60%. Woody would get, this 40 to 30.
Yeah, and what I love is, I like this team. I love, even when they lose games, like, I just don't see Houston getting blown out of a lot of games. Let's even go back to that Patriots playoff game when CJ Stroud was an F. That was awful, right? And the Patriots went to the Super Bowl. I mean, they were kind of a fraud, but they still couldn't put Houston away in that game, and CJ Stroud was handing the game away. So, like, this Houston's defense, now they got Reed Blankenship coming in there, they're not going to get blown out of a lot of games. So David Montgomery's worry, it's the Derrick Henry thing, is when he gets game scripted out of games and it's more Woody Marks. These are all going to be, I project, like, even the games they're losing, 1-score games where they're going to be winning or down by like less than 10 points. So Montgomery will get the work. And it's about, can they clean up the goal line stuff? Because you saw some of those games, they were throwing 3 straight times 1st and goal from the 4. Like, it's because they just couldn't punch the ball. Now, David Montgomery, elite goal line back, but can he overcome that bad offensive line and whatever scheme they're doing there is not working for the running game? I don't know. I like him though. And I would agree. I think 65-35 is about a fair assessment. Even 60-40 is fine if this team is what we project them to be, where he's getting drafted in fantasy.
Yeah. I am worried about the O-line. They are fucking bad. They have a bad O-line. But the team is good. I am a DeMarco Ryan believer to a point. Like, I'm not saying he's like a top coach, but he's teetering on top 10. If he's not in the top 10, he probably is in the top 10. And that goes a long way. Right now he's reminding me a lot of Lovie Smith, just much more dominantly, commanding of a room instead of Lovie's soft tone.
I was thinking more of a Mike Vrabel, like Mike Vrabel's a player's coach. Yeah. DeMeco Ryans is clearly a player's coach. Dan Campbell's a player's coach. And David Montgomery is a coach's player, right? Yes. He's a coach's pet. Like, he does everything right. He does little things right. He's a hard worker. He's a hard hat, lunch pail kind of guy. And Woody Marks is just not great. I mean, and the thing is, what was really crazy, and Mouth had a comment down here below, is that David Montgomery's, go back to Chicago days, he was 50-plus receptions a couple years. And obviously that number was a little neutered on back they had Jahmyr Gibbs, but his efficiency numbers and everything in the receiving game, advanced metrics, are pretty good. So he's an underrated receiver. And actually, Woody Marks was awful as a receiver last year, even though he comps as a receiving down back. So I'm not too worried about him losing the receiving down work, because I know he's better in pass pro than Woody Marks, and I think they're similar players in terms of the receiving game. And I think that this trade kind of shows what they think of Woody Marks, and they're paying him a decent amount of money. They had to trade for him. This is a great situation for David Montgomery. Only 28 years old. I know 28 is essentially like 34 for a running back. Like, you're on your last legs, but he actually hasn't had a giant workload the last couple of years because of the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. So I feel like he has more in the tank. Right. I really like him this year. I think he's a safe RB2. If you really want to wait and go like 3 or 4 straight receivers or take an early quarterback, I'm not super upset with having him as my RB1 if you wait in the 5th round. Because at least you know what you're going to be getting. It's going to be a lot of 16-touch games, and you have the touchdown upside as well. Yeah,
what's interesting with Montgomery, what you were just talking about with him being, the total coach's player. If you think about it, he came into the league under Nagy. That was in 2019, riding off that high that they had for 18. I know the double doink was a total gut killer, but that season was, magical, the fucking club dub, all that bullshit, And so he comes in, everything falls apart. My point is, he's always played with guys who want to be take command of the room, basically. Like Nagy had command of the room. He just, of course, fell apart very quickly. Dan Campbell hasn't. He's much more stronger as a coach. So is D'Amico Ryan. Sorry. Especially though, like you said, I mean, those guys were players. They were both linebackers. You know what I mean? Like Dan Campbell and D'Amico Ryan's. Like Nagy, he was a quarterback, and if you just look like, he was never a badass take over the room. You know what I mean? He tried, but fell short.
Didn't work. Davis says Falcons might sign Nick Chubb. You think he's worth drafting in redrafts? Absolutely not. Nick Chubb, again, I'm the biggest Nick Chubb fan. I loved his time. He was great in Georgia, recovered from multiple knee injuries in college, recovered from multiple knee injuries early in his career in the NFL with Cleveland. Guy's an all-time talent, honestly, and a great career, but his lack of pass catching and now his efficiency dropping off, he does not look like the same back. The fact that he could not rise to be the number one guy on Houston last year when we were just talking about Woody Marks, that's damning. The film's not great. I think he has a little bit left in the tank. Like, I would rather take a flyer on Nick Chubb than Joe Mixon personally, because Nick Chubb is just better talent. And now they both have the same injury concerns, but not worth signing, maybe as a handcuff. But here's the problem. We've seen this, and I've personally felt this with drafting Tyler Algier all these years as the elite handcuff. You don't draft Bijan's handcuff because Bijan doesn't get hurt. So, like, what are you looking for? And there's going to be no standalone value there. And they're going to bring in another young guy. They're going to draft someone in the third round, fourth round, in a pretty deep running back class.
That's exactly what I was literally about to say. Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth south. Is that, like, why the fuck would they waste cap money, sign Chubb, just sign a running back, groom the guy, and just groom him to be the great number 2 behind Bijan. And if anything happens to Bijan, then you have a guy who knows what he's doing. Like, Nick Chubb, his time is kind of gone. Like, this is probably his last year and he'll be done. Like, unfortunately, I'm with you, dude. When healthy, if he never got injured, no knee injuries, the dude would have been an all-timer probably. But yeah.
I mean, he was an all-timer for 5 years. And if they used him properly, he would be actually all-timer. They refused to give him more than a 60% snap share.
Oh, you mean when they had Baker Mayfield there? Oh.
Yeah. Mouse says zero RB this year is, so he's talking about the zero RB strategy this year is 3 wide receivers and jumping and drafting Monty in round 4, Swift in round 5, and Laporta in round 6. You know what, Mouth? I think you can get Laporta in round 7, which makes it even better. But I my love for Sam Laporta this year. He's higher on Swift, I've seen from his drafts than I am. What are your thoughts on Swift? I'm guessing they have too many holes to fill, especially with some of the retirements and injuries they had in the offensive line, Ray. Is it going to be the same we saw last year, essentially 55-45 Swift Monangai? Is that what it's going to be this year? You don't see any world where Monangai jumps Swift, right?
No, just because the explosiveness is not on Monangai's side compared to Swift. There were too many times last year watching, just watching the Bears games where Swift would get either just get a run and break it out or get a swing pass or a screen or something and bust it out 40, 50 yards. Monangai, he's capable of that. He's just more of the bruiser. Like he's not a Nick Chubb bruiser, but and something like as big, because he's not that big compared to Chubb. Chubb can fucking squat like 1,000 pounds. But my point is that no, I don't really see Monangai overtaking him. But here's the thing. Swift's contract is coming up here soon. And I think this might be the last year. I think it was a 3-year contract. So you got that. They have Monangai for another 2 years after this because they got the 4-year contract. If Swift doesn't live up to what he was doing last year and just not looking as crisp, I wouldn't be shocked if they put in a Monangai to start over him at that point and just use Swift as more of the third down back. Especially because Monangai,
there's a lot of value too. There's a lot of value in the system.
100%. I just think that Monangai is more built to be able to take a 30 carry load, 25 carry load a game, if that were to be a case, compared to Swift.
All right, we have Miles saying Frank Reich plus wide receivers and better O-line and RB. They lied to Willis. They definitely did him dirty, but he still has the money. Now, it's not a giant contract, but let's just look back where Malik Willis was 2 years ago.
You're frozen.
He's happy. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Hold on a second. You can still hear me though, right?
Oh yeah. Well, on YouTube, you're
the,
fine. On my app, I see you. I'm on my computer. I don't see.
Well, that's because we're delayed. There you go. I'm back.
There you go. Yep.
He's going to be happy with the money because let's go back at where he was 2 years ago. He was borderline going to be out of the league, right? Like, look at Will Levis. Will Levis is almost out of the league. And luckily, Willis got to a great situation and got a couple games under his belt with Matt LaFleur in a great situation. I have hope for the kid. I can't wait to play him in fantasy. You know what I can't wait to do? I can't wait to bet. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to. I still have hope for Will Levis, though, but I can't wait to bet on Malik Willis's rushing props this year. I'm going to be hitting those hard, bro. They're going to probably set like 28 or 31 yards. He's going to have some of those in the first fucking quarter. Dakota says, I wore the Professional Fanatic hat today while winning the Texas Hold'em tournament with the bros. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully I like you repping it. Spread the gospel. I have to grab a beer. I'm going to hit you guys with the intro, and I'm going to grab a beer, and we'll be back with all your questions after this. All right. Before we get to anything else, I do want to play this clip for Dakota because he missed it. It's the Grandma's Boy clip. I want to play this because I do love it.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. That is a great idea.
Those are the only kind I have.
I can hear my hair growing. You want some soup?
Is she an all-time grandmother? You know, I go back to Happy Gilmore and his grandma with the kiss mask. She's awesome. She's an all-time grandma, right? Because grandma, it's a great role, right? Of also Betty White's awesome in Lake Placid. It's just a fun role if you have somewhat decent comic chops, just to be like the kind of wild granny that's like partying and then they drink the weed tea and like just it's a slam dunk every time I see it in a movie. Just like a wild grandmother. And I think the best part of that movie is her friend, the kind of hot one, that's fucking Nick Swartzen. And the quote
Silver
of
Fox,
like
if you will.
when he pretty much admits that he lost his virginity to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I've lost my virginity, back in like 1960 or whatever." He's like, "How many have you fucked?" Yeah. What did she say? Number 500 or something?
Yeah, like 500 something. He turns over. Oh,
should have worn a condom. Oh, it's so good. That's so good.
Like I said, that movie.
Would you fuck that chick? She was kind of hot. She was kind of hot for like a 70-year-old.
Yeah, as a virgin, like to be my first one, but yeah, right now, fuck it. Why not?
I would fuck her right now. Yeah. And speaking of old and gross, this is old and gross.
I was real quick. You're talking about the grandma, and from Grandma's Boy. It's even funny because she's so nice in that. That's Ray Romano's mom, and Everybody Loves Raymond, and she's like the ultimate worst bitch ever. Like she's just the worst mother-in-law and mother, like, and it's so funny because she's so nice and except just like literally like the bikers are over, you know what I mean? Like so good, dude, so good.
She's great. Yeah, she's I think grandmas are always a slam dunk in movies and comedies. Real quick, want to shout out to the Patreon bros, Jonathan for upgrading, Hetzer for the newest Patreon subscriber. Appreciate all you guys that get in the Discord. Besides just supporting your boys, which is a big part of the show. This is grassroots, baby. We need you to keep this show on the air as much as we have it. So I keep on doing this full fucking time. Just wait till the football season, guys. We're going to be probably pushing 25 hours a week live during June, starting in June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, you name it, as well as still sprinkling in 15 hours roughly this time of year with a lot of good random stuff, as well as football conversation. But besides just supporting your boys here, you get access to the Discord community, which is the place to be. Our community fantasy leagues, guys, get in now. We're going to start filling those leagues up that are going to be drafting in August, 5 or 6 of them, depending on how many of you guys want to play. Get in now. Get your priority access to those leagues. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of good content to talk about on the streams. Guest appearances on the pod. You want to come sit by me and Ray, talk some football, talk some grandmothers and movies, all those kind of things. Free merchandise giveaways. Guys, we finally got the T-shirts right here, buddy. Super cheap. I will send it to you. We'll talk some business, as well as I do give away a free hat. I'll be giving away a free hat and a free t-shirt every single month.
Free
So get in
hat?
there and you're eligible. Yeah, you already have your free hat.
Wait. Like free hat from South Park? Free hat.
Yeah,
Free
free hat.
Yeah, like
Um,
I hope everybody
also,
who's watching knows.
access to my plays, access to my
Most important,
betting plays, guys. I know this is relevant right now, but most importantly, 96 and 58 on the year last year, even odds player props. Every single year, we've been a pretty big winner, 205 and 125 all time. Guys, we're printing money here. Get access to the actual plays when I bet them. Everything is with a bet slip, dated time. You can bet it. Once you get in the Discord, you can bet it. I show you exactly what app I use. Get the apps I use. Also, you can get the free money that those apps are giving away and win some money with us. And also just the Discord access, the community. I appreciate everyone in here. It is a very elite community with a lot of very good people, positive people, like-minded people. We don't take it too serious. Right? It's damn it. What do we call it?
It's
the place to be.
It's what do you call it, Kramer? It was. Come on, already. Come on. We call it the place. The place to be. Yes.
The place to be.
Why is Miles says why is Helen Hunt's stomach more tone than Pat Mahomes and she's 64 and he's Andy Reid's quarterback? Wait, I might have just answered that. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes does not look great with his shirt off, but it doesn't really matter. But it's true.
No, but let's be real, guys. Mouth, I'm pretty convinced, especially now you're saying this. I mean, I was already thinking this, but you know how we've talked about in the past that Ben Johnson doesn't really do like quarterback room team like film. Like he takes Caleb and sits down and they go through film and do their own like one-on-one coaching. In my perfect world, that's exactly what Andy Reid does with Patrick Mahomes, except that the only main difference is that Andy Reid has hamburgers on fucking call. And it's a needed one burger per meeting, necessity, requirement, if you will. And yeah, like that. But worse. I don't know, but worse. One burger to 4 plates.
There it is.
Oh yeah,
there
baby.
It is. There's another view. There's the Ray right there. Show off that physique, buddy. Show off that fucking physique. You love it.
I know you love it.
Where were we at here?
That's what you said last night. But
damn. Miles says New Jersey. They play in New Jersey, so I guess he's not. It wouldn't be New York taxes then. Good call. Willis sucks.
Well, bullshit. New Jersey's also trash mouth, so don't fucking go that far. But I'm sorry, move it on.
So Miles says Willis sucks. He benefited from elite Packer skill group. It's not an elite group, but it's an elite scheme. It was a good group. I would say it's a good group. Jets offer that plus Frank Reich. Miami paid him $13 million a year. Less taxes don't cover that. No, it probably splits the difference a little bit, like half of it. But I think he said he wanted to. He wanted a better situation. The funny thing is he went to probably a worse situation.
What's weird thing? What's one thing I didn't realize though, Rob? And I don't know if it's like this for all sports. I would assume it is. And I just found this out like within the last 6 months. And I guess it makes sense. I just never really realized it. And again, I don't know if it's 100% true. I need to do a little more research on it. But nonetheless, apparently, wherever you play your game at, that's the tax rate you get. So in reality, when players go to like Florida or Texas and don't have their sales or the income tax, they're just making sure they get half of their money not income taxed. You know what I mean? Compared to where the other half of the games, wherever the fuck they play, whatever state and whatever tax they have there. So I'm saying like, I that would make sense, I guess, just for legality problems and everything. But I mean, did you know that? Am I wrong? Did you ever heard about this? You heard this? You seen about this?
You know what that got me to thinking, Ray, was we see these big numbers these athletes make, and the guys that are making $40 million a year, who cares about taxes and agents and fees and all that? Because like they're only making like 60% of what they actually signed for.
Correct.
But like when you have a guy making $4 million a year, and they have personal trainers, they have personal chefs, like that $4 million, they're literally looking at $2 million, which is still a lot of money. But you also got to factor in they're not doctors; they don't have a 30
exactly.
year
It's X amount of time.
Correct. 4 years shelf life.
Correct. Yep.
Get your money, guys. You got to get your money when you can, and hopefully it works out for Malik Willis.
To be honest, that's why I believe Drew Dahlman did what he did with the Bears. Because if everybody looks at what that contract the Bears signed Drew Dahlman, the Bears thought they were getting a fucking hell of a deal. because they paid him
Yeah.
big the first year, and he would have been a fucking steal the next 2 years. But that's why he did it, because he clearly was knowing he was wanting to retire. Got that, I think maybe it was like 20 plus mil he got last year. So whatever he made from his rookie contract, got 20 plus mil in the bank. He's from Stanford, so he can go get another good job. So he'll be fine, but he wanted to make sure he had that little net on what do we call it? The little your little nugget, your little net. What did you call it? Nest egg. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Nest egg.
I had a good comment I missed here. What was it? It was pretty good. I don't want to miss it. It was something about Jean-Claude Van Damme versus
he said Chuck, and I said laugh out loud, Chuck, bro, not even close. Jean-Claude Van Damme gets ass kicked by fucking Chuck. Sorry, but not so.
He was kind of a pretty boy for a tough guy, you know. And fun fact, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme was actually supposed to be the original Predator. And the suit, if you go back and look online,
in the suit,
it was but it was a way different suit. He almost looked like an insect. And I'm so glad they didn't have it, because he was like such a big name at the time. So he was trying to like make it about him. And the Predator's actually only shown in like 12 minutes of the movie, right? Like they show a lot from his POV, but they actually don't show him. Correct. Because the suit was like 100 pounds, and the guy that played the Predator's dead. He died of AIDS. 7-foot black guy. He was actually the guy, you see him. He's the helicopter pilot at the end. But tall. So he actually was 7 foot. And that fucking costume, man, that it's insane. That's crazy.
Well, dude, everybody needs to realize, like, back in those days, in those movies, up until the 2000s, and even probably more like 2010s, like, all movie studios and TV studios were using, like, they had to figure out how to use physical things. There wasn't computer technology, you know, like compared to now. All they have to do is put a bunch of polka dots on some dude, and he can act out being fucking, you know, Predator, but not have any of the fucking weight and all that shit on him, you know?
You know, that's partially why movies, they just don't feel as tactile as they did before. Correct. Mostly because a lot of green. Acting has taken a step back because it's very hard to react when you're in front of a green screen. Like in there, I froze again. Hold on. Let me get this back. When you're acting like in a jungle, bro, like that shit's real. And if you go to the actual like details of the filming, they were in Mexico. It was like 100 degrees, and like these motherfuckers were getting sick, like they were getting like diseases, like it was a mess, and like they were living the fear of just the mess of the whole shoot. Where now it's just like they're in a fucking air conditioned studio. Like that's why Jurassic Park just feels so fake now. And like I know you could never top the original Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World,
yeah, like Jurassic Worlds are just terrible. As much as I love Chris Pratt. Just awful. And also the dinosaurs actually look worse than they did.
You said Chris Pratt's trash in that? Chris Pratt's the only good part.
I love Chris Pratt. No, I'm saying as much as I love Chris Pratt, like it's just funny they have him and it's still such a bad movie. But how do they get, like with all the CGI, like, how are the dinosaurs better in Lost World and Jurassic Park than they are in 2024? It's such a fucking mind fuck to me.
I've always thought that. I still don't have an answer. I have no idea. But when you and I watched the first 2 Jurassic Parks and those velociraptors came out, even the T-Rex and shit, it looked fucking real. You know what I mean? At least realistic, like, you know, especially for the time. Now, when Jurassic World came out in 2020 something, like those dinosaurs, I mean, sure, it looked okay, but like you just knew they were fake. It was just fucking computer generated. It didn't, because I guess like when we were watching those older movies, it had like that leather look. You know what I mean? Like of like what their skin would look like. It felt more real, which is fucked up because that was the last. Lost World was 99 or 98, and the other one was 94. Like, what the fuck?
It was the perfect mix of like real life effects and also practical effects, where the practical effects have way bye-bye to us so many years ago. And I go back to the scene, you know, the iconic scene of the Jeep upside down and the animatronic fucking dinosaur breaking the glass, and the kids are actually dealing with, and something could go wrong. Those kids could die. And
that was real acting for those kids.
Like, because they had a fucking giant fucking dinosaur.
Well,
like,
it's animatronic. Like, who knows if something like it malfunctions and pushes down harder on them, they're dead. You know, like, and that's also another good call. The animatronics for all these movies that we've watched growing up. You know, Jaws. I know Jaws is way more fucking campy looking now, but Jaws is a great, well-written, acted movie. That I don't know, like the 90s animatronics was like peak of realisticness that was fake, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like instead of CGI now. You know what I mean? Now instead of making the hard, because I guarantee
I wouldn't have minded Timmy dying.
Well, Timmy should have died when he got
like
shot to hell, bro. That was that. You know what I mean? Nitpick? That's a nitpick. That fucker would have died.
Timmy, yeah, he pretty much died like 3 times in this movie, but
I'm saying when he got shocked, that was enough to keep a T-Rex out. That little kid would have died.
I'm very critical of these kid actors, and I wouldn't have minded if he passed away. This is probably pretty dark.
Yeah, man. We got to definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about.
Do not diddle kids.
All right. Jay says, I heard A-Chain. I heard A-Chain could be available for trade. Could Chicago be a team in the hunt? So we have a $20 super from Mouth. Give me 1 second, Mouth. We'll get to you also. Oh, a chug and every $20 holler is a chug and a shot on the show. Ray's chugging 10%ers. So I guess the only way I could see it working is I don't know if they would want Swift back, but you need to make the money right. And like, why would they trade for Swift? I could see Manung guy, but that wouldn't make the money right. It had to be like a second rounder. And we have 2 of them, a second rounder and Manung guy, but then the money wouldn't work. And we're cheap. We don't want to spend our own cash. The owners don't. So a second rounder or Manung guy, but now you're stuck with A-Chain and Swift, who are kind of similar prototypes. So it'd have to be Swift and a second rounder. Would you do that if you were the Bears?
Yes.
I would, because Devin A-Chain's fucking.
But it's not going to happen.
He's electric.
It's just ban it. As much as I fucking want A-Chain on the Bears, I would cream my pants and be fucking over the moon. It just ain't happening. Everybody, what you need to understand what the Bears are doing right now, they understand they fucked up last offseason with their especially defensive line signings of whoever that shithead is from the African name, Dambo from Indianapolis. Yeah. They gave him like $40 million. Yeah, they gave him like $40 million.
African name.
He pisses me off because he didn't play, got injured, and he sucks. Like, we give him so much money. And then Grady Jarrett. Now, Grady Jarrett, I don't mind as much because he has the leadership aspect that goes a long way in that locker room, because I do like him. I knew this too. Like, when he signed, I was not expecting Grady Jarrett of fucking 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that was never going to happen. But he didn't play great, and a lot of money is in between those two guys. What I'm just getting at is that the Bears, I think, understand this. That's why they didn't spend a lot of money in free agency. They didn't go after Max Crosby. They didn't do all these things because they know, like, next year they'll be able to get out of these contracts. This year they can't. Otherwise, they'll take a lot of dead money. They're going to fuck up a lot of problems with their cap situation. They are just going to eat it. They're going to do obviously, like every team, they're going to do their damnedest to have the best draft they can going into this draft and get players that can contribute. And then next year, make up for the errors they made up for from last year. So this year, everybody, what you need to understand for the Bears, they're pretty much being status quo. Hope the guy that they do great in this upcoming draft. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I hate to say this, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears win 8 or 9 games this year, reload going into next year, and then take a big step to maybe like a more 12 win team. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I want them to do it this year, they fucked up last year. I think they understand that. That's why they didn't spend the money, and they'll make up for that next year. Sorry.
I want to finish finish the HN conversation after this Mouse super. I want to talk about potential landing spots and go through some of the teams. Mouse said, the reason I love the new Star Wars movies effects where they were combined CGI with models, best of both tech. CGI hasn't advanced enough to outdo real models. If they have them stationary in green room, it makes it better. That's a good call, because you need to have some sense of realism, man. And the complete CGI, we've seen it. Did you see the new Roadhouse movie?
Mm-hmm.
With Jake Gyllenhaal? Like,
yeah, I didn't hate it.
Like the car scene, like on the bridge.
It wasn't great. I know you
but
hated
how
it,
bad was this CGI?
Yes.
And this isn't like CGI dinosaurs, but like the fight scenes.
Yeah,
it was almost like the original, dude. The original one, I feel like they're actually punching each other in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
probably.
And so what is your take on the Star Wars? We're not a big fan of the movies. I like Force Awakens, but you agree, I do as well. You agree that the CGI was definitely better in those movies than it has been in some of the Marvel movies, for instance, that you love.
I would say so. Yes, easy answer is yes. But personally, I think that the best was the prequels. That was in the mid 2000s. It had just enough looking of realism to where the original trilogy could not, because it just didn't have the technology. To where now everything, I'm not disagreeing. It did look better, but in general, we all know it's CGI. It's still just, I really think those prequels were that perfect median of having realisticness, CGI. The CGI was good enough to look more real and not campy horseshit. That's just my opinion, because again, dude, when you watch episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, that was 05. That was, because the first one was 99, second one I think was like 03 or 02, and then 05 was the third. So 05 had the best technology for that. That one I think was like peak. That was peak. And also I love Lord of the Rings. Watching Lord of the Rings, that was also pretty peak.
But Lord of the Rings being shot in New Zealand on location, like when they're walking and the aerial views, dude, it's sublime, bro.
Oh no, Peter Jackson is a fucking god.
And the actual like the fantasy angle of it, of like the CGI at that point was pretty realistic looking, man. And like that movie, any movie you're gonna see right now, and it's so crazy that like we can't the studios they don't understand this, and they can't like. How are we taking a step back? Obviously, original ideas are not what they don't make the middle range budget dramas. Those are dead. Dead Poet Society, those type of dramas. Even a movie like Seven, like they're not making movies like that anymore, and that's fine.
But no, why?
These big budget movies suck.
Do you know why they stopped doing that?
No.
So there was, I can't remember, it was a pretty famous actor. I could find the little clip and send it to you, but nonetheless, pretty famous actor that everyone would know. They were asking him, they were like, why is there no more? It was a comedian, because they were, I think it might have been like, it could have been Nick Swartz or something, but nonetheless, doesn't matter. They were just asking, why is there no more original comedies? Like, why in general, like no original ideas for movies? Like, why is this? And apparently, long story short, is that studios do not want to give people budgets for big money ideas that do not have their own IP catalog, aka Star Wars, Marvel, anything like that. They want something that already people know that that it will be able to make money. Correct. Back in the day, because you want to know why? It's streaming. Streaming ruined that. Streaming ruined Hollywood, because what he said was, back in the day when we were growing up, if a movie like Grandma's Boy flopped, they could make the money up in DVD sales, which is exactly what happened when we were growing up. Now, the only original ideas that come out are from people like Christopher Nolan or something, who are so well known that these studios are not going to say no to. You know what I mean? That's why like Interstellar was made. I know that's already fucking 10 years old plus. But you know what I'm getting at with that? Like, and it fucking pisses me off, but it makes a lot of sense.
I think that Harvey Weinstein also kind of ruined the movie industry.
Hey guys, the management needs everybody to get out because they caught a guy jerking off in here, and they're going to send in a crew to wipe down the loads. Go ahead.
Dude, the way that he says the loads is just so good. But yes,
I'm pretty sure that there was a cleanup crew at Harvey Weinstein's office for all the loads he was shooting everywhere, because the girls didn't want those loads. They would jerk them off. They didn't want those loads anywhere near. That's like acid. That's like acid cum, right? Like acid rain. Just gross. Just absolutely disgusting.
Well, yeah.
Here we go. Mouth, another $10 holler. Ray, we owe 2 chugs, so get out. I already did mine. You owe 1 right here. Studios are scared of comedies because of either political side getting offended at the jokes of the movie and trying to cancel it. That's why it's all about legacy brands. We all come back. Yeah, they want sequels, and comedies generally do bad with. Most movies are bad with sequels. They want trilogies, and they want the Marvel universe. They can keep on spinning. And again, Ray loves Marvel. I am very anti-Marvel. I think the plots are bad. The character building is bad. The acting is bad. No, there's some that have good acting. Give me Endgame, I guess. Again, maybe I haven't seen enough of them, but I just don't think
that's a funny joke, dude. Yes. That's a good joke.
Pretty good joke.
You clearly have not watched it.
I'm just saying they just don't. They don't care about it.
I don't disagree with anything you just said, except that no character building. That is fucking ridiculous. But okay. Again, I'll agree with everything
It
else.
could be better. The character building could be better. Okay.
Okay, you could have said that. That I could agree with.
There you go.
Saying it's trash, not right. But whatever.
The comedy thing is the comedies have been dead. We've talked about this in this pod ad nauseum. I believe it's kind of ironic that the last good comedy for me, iconic comedy, is This Is the End. And it's funny it's called This Is the End because that was also right when James Franco got canceled. And just everyone getting all up in arms about, I think it was, 2014. Let me see here. This Is the End is 2013. Yeah. So it's been dead for 12 years now. And we went through it in some of our movie pods about just there's multiple golden ages of comedies. Obviously, you're going to go in the 80s and some of that crazy shit was awesome because they could, did the craziest shit. 90s was probably the best. You had the trio of Adam Sandler, of Jim Carrey, and who am I missing? Will Ferrell as well, which is a little bit later than
he's
90s,
more 2000s.
That trio. And then you had all of the stuff like Knocked Up in those movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin, that stretch, Hangover. They were just pumping out so many good comedies. And then they're just scared to make them because comedies have to be cutting edge. They have to be offensive. They have to push boundaries. And now no one's willing to push the boundaries. Now, on this show, we're willing to push all the boundaries, boy. There is no boundary we won't push. And I think that's why a lot of you guys like watching it. We say it straight, whether we're right or we're wrong. We don't have filters. I don't give two fucks about being politically correct because you know what? I'll make fun of myself as much as I make fun of everyone else. I don't give a fuck. But I also want to talk to Samson.
I want to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like that bitch out of Cram.
And getting down.
We got GT in here late to the
What
stream.
up, GT?
Had to make the lady shake. So he made his lady come.
Ooh.
GT, I want to hear exactly
sugar, baby.
all these girls. I feel like for a guy, it's the old thing of it's so easy to make a guy come. Like you just have to be there, right? We just need a moist hole. And we're not in. We all have our thing we're into, right? More so like we watch.
No moist holes even needed. Just a hand gesture, I mean,
yeah. But girls like some girl, they all like some girls only get off by oral stimulation, or some only get off with your fingers. Some like penetration, some like anal. Some like get off on boob play, getting choked, like getting there. A million things. So GT, if you don't mind indulging us, what is her flavor? What gets her off? You don't have to tell us. I'm just curious. And I like to, take notes.
He probably fake chowder, old, hall pass style. Fake chow.
Yeah, fake chow's good.
You're like going down. Dude, Jason Sudeikis, when he does that, the way he just, dude, that's also one of the last, that movie. Well, I think it was 2016. That was a fucking great movie. That was hilarious. Hall pass.
Oh yeah, that was also right towards the end. And I have a quick story for you guys regarding. I wish I had. This is before I saw Hall Pass. It was probably right when it came out, so I didn't know about it. GT says a lot of gentle grazing makes her come. But regarding fake chow, I was with this girl for a couple months. She's pretty hot. She was a half. Her mom was blonde and her dad was Indian, like 7-Eleven Indian, like very Indian. And so she looked white, but her hair, she had dark hair, just kind of like a Mila Kunis type, right?
Sure.
But definitely like you would never guess she was like Middle Eastern, right? Because she was very Americanized and just looked like a tan white girl, brunette, but she was definitely Indian. And she was very stinky. Now, I'm not going to say they all stink. This is my one experience that I've gone across, that area of the world. And I didn't realize how bad it was until my roommate, and I had the door closed and shit. And he was like, dude, like it stinks in there, dude. And we all know like rooms can smell like sex. If you fuck someone 3 or 4 times, it's going to smell like sex. But he's like, dude, I smell that shit in the living room, bro. And I'm like, what? Now I started like paying attention to it. And she had her friend over, like this is a month after I started seeing each other. And she had her friend over for like her birthday party. I had like a 2-on-2, right? Her friend came over, hopefully for my buddy. We hung out all night, and then we were talking sex. And she was talking about how she blew me all the time, which is more standard practice for a girl to blow a guy than for a guy to go down on a girl. That's more intimate. And she's talking about how she blows me all the time, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I like it, whatever. What guy doesn't? And she's like, and the friend's like, well, you go down on her, right? And I was like, oh, here we go. And she's like, no, actually, he never has. And I was like, oh, fuck. And she's like, well, it's your birthday, so you should probably do it tonight. Meanwhile, this is July. We're sitting outside in 90-degree humid weather, and she already stinks fresh out the shower, dude. And so she's like, yeah, good idea. You're going to do that tonight. I was like, it's your birthday. I didn't really get you a present, so I had to do it. Had I known about fake chow, but I had to go down there, and it was essentially like, if you don't change out.
Fish Market City?
No, if you're garbage, like the garbage water at the bottom of your can.
Oh, no.
Like that smell. Oh, bro. It was so bad. Like, I almost puked inside that pussy, dude. It was gross.
So, it's funny.
He says,
yeah, so go on. That's fine.
We have a girl in here. Of course, Stacy joins right when I tell that story. Sorry about that, Stacy. And my dad's listening. He's probably laughing his ass off. GC says, laughing my ass off. Did you have stank dick? Yeah, but I don't care. My dick's down there. I don't care. But my mouth. It was rough. So I just, fuck her friend for making me do that.
So you know what it was? You were Stifler before Stifler was in American Reunion. You see American Reunion? The last
No,
American Pie movie?
I have not. It's one of the recent
You
ones,
should
right?
watch it. Of course, it's not as good as the first two, but it's the worst of the bunch, but it is still really good and worth watching. Basically, it's the reunion, and this girl, like, everybody has their wives, their girlfriends, whatever, and Stifler's like looking around in the party being like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I'm the only one not getting any. And then this girl says Stiffy, and he knows the voice. He's like, it was blowjob something, whatever he fucking called her. And he turns around, and she was thinner in high school, and she was fat. And he just goes, Rob, look at me. He goes, Rob, my face. He goes, just come on. He drags her into the bathroom. He's like, all right, let's get to business. Unbuckles his pants, zips his shit down. And she's like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, come on. And she's like, no. That's the old time. You owe me. And she's like, I haven't
seen this part, yeah.
All right, fine. I'll go down to you first, and you go down to me. All right, sure. And he goes down, and it's clearly just hairy, sweaty, just muck. Because he got fucking hair and juice all in his fucking face. And then she's just like, nope.
Yeah, she played him like he's played so many girls in the past, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying exactly. I'm saying literally as you were explaining that was exactly what was going through my head. Not the situation of being an asshole, but you got played big time.
It sucked that it happened on a really, really warm, hot, muggy day. All right, we owe another chug, though, because we hit another goal, Ray. And I wanted to go through with the A-Chain comment. Guys, keep on getting your comments in here. Get to everyone's comment. I want to go through the A-Chain thing and kind of pinpoint where is a good spot, because I think he gets dealt. I don't know why they would keep him. I'm going to play a clip while Ray pours this beer. And good old Adrian Peterson.
You're more excited than Adrian Peterson at an arboretum.
Daddy, what kind of tree is that?
Man, I want to beat you with so many things around here.
Man, I want to beat you with so many things around
here. Is that a
here.
full 10% IPA? Is that a full one you got there? Ray's going to be fucking shit-faced.
It's going down, but that was the foam head.
Always do that. Why do you always do that thing? I don't get that. Just let the foam go down. I see it.
Because it goes down. Now there's no foam. I would have had to wait another 2 minutes for the foam to go down.
Why I pour my shit earlier. All right, we're gonna do a chug here and get to everyone's questions.
It's called the
We're gonna go through Devin A-Chain locations. All right, let's go. Busch Light is such a good chugging beer. Wow, is that smooth? All right, Devin A-Chain. We're gonna go through here. Ooh, this one makes a lot of sense. So mouth takes the steam right out of my mouth. Giants first round pick swap and Tracy Chain. Now that's sexy because Tracy is a third-year running back, pretty young, pretty versatile. I would love him. I would love his fantasy value if he was the starter there. Holy shit, would I love that. And everyone wins. I would also really suck for Scatabo. So the Giants have the 5th pick in the draft. And it would be for that 30 pick, right? It would be for the pick that the Broncos pick, essentially, mouth. So they'd swap 5 and 30. So that means the Dolphins would have. Let me go to this number here.
Yeah, you're gonna stop the conversation. That ever fucking happened. Never. Just never happened. The conversation just. What do you mean? Do you not understand how teams value a 5th, like the 5th overall, the 30th for fucking Tracy? Are you kidding me?
They're getting Devin A-Chain.
So you're getting So you mean you're getting the 30th in HN. That's still not enough. Sorry.
No. They're getting the 5th pick.
Oh,
the
okay.
Dolphins would get the 5th pick. They'd give up the 30th pick, which they have. They wouldn't give up their other pick. They wouldn't give up the 11th pick. They give up the 30th pick.
I
They'd
still
get the
stick around.
5th, and they'd have 5-11.
Oh, no.
And then they get Tyron Tracy. Yeah. They would keep 11, though. They would have 5 and 11 and Tracy. And they'd lose 30.
I understand, but in general, that's still like.
Mal's saying go from 11 to 5. That might be more feasible.
That's much more feasible in my eyes.
That's a really good deal for the Giants then.
Yes.
I think 5 to 30 is essentially giving up I guess that would be giving up a very good first round pick.
Rob, you get that extra year of control. That's a big fucking thing.
Yeah, 5 to 11. Okay, 5 to 11 makes a lot of sense. I was maybe getting overhead of my skis there with 30.
Yeah, that's just not enough for me, man. Like, just because the way these NFL teams value first round picks with that extra year control.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the draft.
Let's go through some other teams that could go for quarterbacks. I'm guessing all the teams in the AFC East would probably be off the board, even though you got to get the best deal. But the Bills, no. The Jets, no. The Patriots, no. Steelers, no. Ravens, no. Bengals, no. Browns, no. Texans, no. Jags, maybe the Jags.
Hey,
I see the Jags
you
doing that.
You said Bengals, no, but I'm just curious. Like, what if they were to give Chase Brown away with the trade?
Ooh,
I'm just saying, like,
okay.
Okay. I would like that. Just because I'm just trying to think of teams that that are obvious, that need more talent, but like somebody that like that team. They know their time's running out. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can't keep fucking around. In my opinion,
what would be a great spot? What would be a great spot is the Cowboys. Adding that speed demon to that offense.
Yeah. That would
Commanders.
Be
now the Commanders don't have the draft capital because they don't have a 2nd and 4th round pick. If they had a 2nd round pick, that could make sense. But you know what they could do? If they want to get ballsy and they expect to win now, they can give away a 1st rounder next year, which they would maybe project being like in the low to mid 20s. They could do that. They trade next year's 1st and get next year's 4th or something from the Dolphins. Right. The Commanders are they need a running back. Mouse said Giants, that makes sense. Bears, we'd love it, but I don't know. Packers can make a lot of sense because Josh Jacobs is getting up there. Vikings also. Can I give you the Vikings with Aaron Jones and fucking Jordan Mason?
Yeah, both those. So here's just looking at it from right now. I'm looking at the NFC teams, like you said. Like in the East, the Giants and Washington could use them. In the North, everybody but Detroit could use them. In the South, everybody but Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, Carolina is the only one, since New Orleans just paid.
Dude,
ETN.
Seahawks.
I was gonna say Seahawks as well. Yes. Now they would be smart because obviously they just won the Super Bowl, but it's like you're in that win now mode. You know what I mean? There's no more. Like they won it. So it's like you add this type of fucking talent, you're going to be right in the conversation year in and year out, at least for the next couple of years.
Rams give up Blake Corum in a 2nd. They're in win now mode.
Yeah.
You get Kyron as the grinder and then Devin A-Chain as the all-purpose weapon.
I personally, I would love that because I believe in Sean McVay as an offensive mind to be able to open up things, use 2 running backs, whatever, you know what I mean? Like that, but they paid Kyron. I think they believe in him, but A-Chan's the more elite talent. So if the price is right, and admittedly, maybe they trade Kyron with a pick and get A-Chan and keep Corum. Because I think they like Corum as well.
Yeah,
he's got that different...
I don't think I would want Kyron if I was the Dolphins with his age and his workload concerns. You know what I mean? Like they're rebuilding. Mount says Jets, Breece Hall in 16 for 30. That would be the one last final middle finger to Breece Hall from the Jets. It's like, hey, buddy, now we're going to send you to fucking Miami. Let's send you to Alcatraz and have fun with that rebuild. Now you're going to another rebuild.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I understand. Here's the big thing, Rob. I get where you're coming from, but like you also need to understand how many of these players really want to win and just make money. And my point is, I'm just saying maybe Breece Hall just wants to make some money, and he's like, okay, fine, okay, I fucking suffered in New York with this horrible weather. Fine, I'll go to Miami and live it up. Like, now, of course, I really would assume most NFL players are on the side of want to win no matter what. That's why they're there. But you never know.
What are your epic movie? He was also in Street Fighter. He had a run. He was in a lot of shit there.
Sorry, you broke up. I'm assuming you said what was
also
my favorite Jean-Claude. You said you broke up.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
Favorite Jean-Claude movie?
He was also super coked up and really like notoriously hard to work with because he was such a erratic fucking human, doing steroids and blow and being crazy. And he also was like, he had clearly like the little man syndrome because look who he was competing against. Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, good luck competing against those guys in action films. He was like the little brother of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodsport was a great movie. But yeah, no, and Steven Seagal, bro. I'm saying just for what they were trying to do back in the 80s, he was second fiddle to Steven Seagal as well. That's the problem with Jean Blanc.
Seagal.
That's the problem.
I'm not a Seagal guy.
I'm not saying me neither. But I'm just saying in general, that's the problem that Jean-Claude Van Damme dealt with. Is he could have been maybe a superstar right now because there's just like no action heroes really, but then no way. I mean, you had, like you said, you've seen. Have you ever seen any Expendables movie with all the action heroes and all that shit?
No, but I know of them. It's a really stacked cast. No,
you should just watch the first one at least. Right. It's worth watching. It's fun, especially because you see all the actors, like literally like every possible action actor is in the movie. But it's funny because when they bring in like the older guys, and yeah, I don't know. There's just something about him. Like he just wasn't that great of an actor too. That's also an issue. Like.
No, and I'm on record saying, I mean, early Arnold was really bad acting, but Arnold became a very good actor. Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2,
so good,
True Lies, especially. Like he was like from where he was like consider him like an NBA prospect, like a Wiseman, James Wiseman type, where it was like this dude is so raw, and he became, like a role player in terms of an actor, because obviously he's very, the physicality is there. He plays these roles perfectly because he has the body and the cachet. But Arnold, man, in his later roles, I love Twins. That's kind of where he broke out of his shell with our boy Danny DeVito.
Yep.
I love Arnold the actor. I think he gets a lot of shit for not being a good actor.
I also love Sylvester, man. I mean, so I think Sylvester's a pretty good actor too. Like, personally, I'm not going to say he's like the greatest actor. He's not, but for being what people would look at as a brain dead fucking big man actor. I mean, have you ever seen like Tulsa Kings, the new one that's on Paramount Plus? You ever seen that? No. He played basically, because he's fucking so he's an Italian mobster who goes to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and starts running his shit there. And you know what I mean? So people there are like big tech, big, West, I'm a big man. And he just has, oh, yeah, you're a big man. And then like, fucks him.
What is up with his face right now? Because this plastic surgery shit for him is rough.
Yeah, well, Rob, that's then we got that. Then you got
why are guys getting plastic surgery? Like,
why does anybody get plastic
Brady
surgery?
Is fine. Well, I get why women do it. They have the crazy thing in their head about.
No, that's why they're mentally fucked up. There's no reason, dude. Just let God's work do it. Like, literally, sure. If you're like 40 years old and 5 years later, your fucking skin is like, yeah, get some fucking injection in your face. But
Ray, we got a super. You can read this one. This is for you.
Ray, thanks for donating Tremaine Edwards to my defense. Much appreciate for the gift. Your ownership shot itself in the foot there. No, I'll take Devin Bush over him. Thank you.
Tremaine Edmonds. He said Edwards, but he's talking about Tremaine Edmonds, right?
Tremaine Edmonds. He fucked up.
Edwards.
You know what, Mal? Yeah. Fuck yourself. You can't even get the name right. It's Edmonds, dumbass. And I love you.
No, it was a good. I think both teams won there. I am just still so salty. I know we're
$30-something million contract, $10 million a year. Are you kidding? That dude ain't worth that. He cannot.
He's really good in coverage. He's very good in coverage. But why did we not
Good
sign
in
Devin
coverage
Lloyd?
is a little
Why
bit of a
did
stretch.
we
I
not
watched
sign Devin Lloyd, bro?
I agree. I don't know. My only guess is that, again, literally, I'm just throwing this out there because I have zero idea. My only guess is that they went to Dennis Allen. He probably said, I can't work with this guy because he doesn't fit my scheme like some dumbass. Blah, blah, blah. That's why he didn't sign him. Because how many fucking coordinators, offense and defensive, do the same fucking shit? It pisses me off.
Devin Lloyd
Work
was the
your
best
fucking
linebacker
scheme
in football last
around
year.
the talent. How about that? You be a better coach, okay?
Especially when you're talking about a talent like Devin Lloyd, right? It's not like a fringe talent. Like now it might have, he was really rough coming out. I guess rookie year was a disappointment. His second year wasn't great. But I always loved the player, and it's not even what he did in the field last year. It's what happened when he left the field. That defense was so bad when he was off the field. And it's so hard for an off-ball linebacker in this day and age in the NFL to have that kind of impact. And he fucking had it. And also, what the hell are the Jags doing by letting him go?
That's
why?
That is the more important question as to why the Bears didn't sign him, as to why they didn't re-sign him. That was a fucked up move, and we're gonna feel it big time.
You know what? Maybe maybe we dodged a bullet, and maybe there's some medical stuff we don't know about, because you don't let a player like that's not only an elite talent and a quarterback of your defense, but a leader in the locker room and a fan favorite. Everyone loved him, and he's young, and you drafted him, a homegrown dude. And like Jacksonville is just not getting free agents. Like now maybe they will down the road because Liam Cohen, and I think they have a nice culture there, but they're not exactly a destination for free agents. Well, even if they're in Florida.
You know what's really interesting is that, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I think that the last time that we can really talk about an elite off-ball linebacker leaving a team would have been Roquan Smith leaving the Bears to the Ravens. Am I wrong to say that?
That would be it, man. And there's been some mixed reviews on whether or not he's been worth the money and the capital they gave up to get.
So that's also where I'm sort of thinking that the NFL in general, now mind you, if there was a Ray Lewis or Brian Urlacher like style middle linebacker, aka Fred Warner's like that level, I think the NFL values that. But if you're not like basically a super elite like top 3 guy, like when I say top 3, like a Luke Kuechly, you know what I mean, like something like that, they're not willing to pay these guys money or keep them around. They think they're replaceable, I guess. I mean, it seems like the NFL lately, in the last like fucking 8 to 5 years, has been going around that. And I don't know if I believe in that, because, I mean, I guess I may be biased, but just growing up watching Brian Urlacher command the defense, know everything that's going on, Ray Lewis doing the same shit, like, it seems like if you got the guy, I mean, especially with us, like when we didn't watch it with Mike Singletary. That's what he did. Like he ran that 85 Bears defense, that 46 defense. Like seems like that offline linebacker is super important, especially, I mean, admittedly, when the Bears let Roquan go, until we got TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, we were fucked up in the middle. We were getting blown up all the time and not doing great. So I'm with you. I mean, I personally think that they being the Jaguars fucked up letting him go. I'm not as mad as the Bears not signing him. I mean, how much money did he sign for? Do you remember roughly off the top of your head?
Who's that?
Because I know Devin Bush got
Lloyd?
Yeah.
Lloyd was 3 for 45, $15 million.
Holy shit. Okay, so I'm saying Bears gave fucking Devin Bush 3 for 30. Give the dude the extra fucking 15 mil. Come on.
100%. Mouth another one here. He's a little angry at you, Ray. He says, you shut the fuck up. The second you premiere the new gear on the show, got big splotches from the buffet on it. Ray didn't actually have that shirt on. That's just from beer, right?
That's from sloppy drinking.
That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
It is. It's classic Ray. Hey, Mouth, just to let you know, to let you make fun of me more, when I was probably like, I don't know, 15 years old, I'm more like 13, 14 years old. I was eating ribs in my condo, and I grew up with my mom. And I was at the dinner table, and mind you, behind the dinner table was the sliding glass door, so we had the blinds, you know, that you could pull or whatnot. Somehow, Rob, I got barbecue sauce on the blinds and in my hair, and I didn't like eat the ribs and like go like use it as gel. Like I didn't do that. I just ate it and then found the damage after. So Point is, mouth stains getting on myself all the time. This is a light colored shirt. I'm not light colored because of that. Love you, brother.
Thank you, GT. You just met another goal. We got another chug in the show. Give it a second, Ray. Gotta catch my breath. In regards to the Mouth's comment, we appreciate the playful banter as always. Also, I just want to shout out Downtown Sports for Mouth. Link in the description, boys. 23 platforms. They have fucking Iron Eagle on the show every single year.
Uncle Eon on there, man.
Downtown Sports, 23 platforms, where sports comes home. More of a real life football take and sports take than this show. And Mouth and Beast know their shit. So me and Ray have both been on that program. Highly endorse them. We appreciate Mouth. Also, Mouth, little
Mouth
message
and the
for
Beast,
you.
man. They're an elite group.
I have a message. I have a message for Mouth. Mouth, Storey is going to be out of town 3 weeks during April, which sucks because Storey is our college football expert in the show. Now, I've been diving into these players, but for some of us that aren't college football fans, it takes a lot of work to be able to talk about these prospects at length. And a couple of the guys, my co-host can, but Mike Storey is my guy, and he can only come on a couple shows during April. We'll make it work with him. He'll be at least here the last week before the draft, but I need you to come on if you're willing, probably at least once a week in April to talk some NFL draft. I know you know your shit. I'll give you some show notes. We'll chat in the coming days, but I'm going to need you to step up for me if you'd like to, because I know you do know your shit in college. So let me know. We can schedule something, figure out a day we can do every
Hey,
single
I watch
week.
college football.
I need you.
Day, man.
I want you. Do you?
No,
you don't. Okay.
I want to. I should.
Thank you, GT.
I should.
Yeah, well, you can still start doing. I mean, you can still start prepping for the draft. But when you're that far behind, it's like it's.
I am already
in.
doing that because you're right. There's way too much to catch up on when you don't watch it. I'm just more or less getting at. I just need to because professional sports in general just piss me off.
It helps for fantasy too.
Well, no,
like knowing the players.
But just more importantly, just watching like college athletes, even this NIL, they still like care because they know like that's the way they're making money. That's their job, and or they're there on scholarship. It's just different. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the pros, it's a whole fucking different animal.
I'll say I'm probably 50 to 60 hours deep in film study for these college guys, and I still have another 50 or 60 hours, and I'm still learning a lot. I'm still changing my opinions based on second and third watches. It's a lot. And also just with the combine, more information. Now you've paired that with the film again. Now I'm going to go on my third wave of some of these players, but it's a lot of work, but also it does help for fantasy, and not even just so much for this year, but like for me, a guy like Michael Wilson that I was super high on hadn't really worked out the first couple of years, but I knew I loved him kind of at Stanford. And I that's how I was so confident about him when the Marvin Harrison appendectomy happened, Ray. You remember, I was so everyone's like, why? He's never showed us anything. I was like, Michael Wilson can ball. That was partially because my film study I did at Stanford, I really dove into him. I had him as my 6th ranked receiver when he was consensus like 17. Actually had him ahead of Quentin Johnson. Not to pat myself in the back too much. Blue to Green says for Dynasty, how do you think Alec Pierce? I know I did. For Dynasty, how do you think Alec Pierce is going to be as an asset for the next few years now that he's the number 1 on the Colts? I love everything about Alec Pierce in fantasy just because the money doesn't always travel. It doesn't always make a difference. But when you're getting paid this much money and you have an idiot like Chris Ballard at the helm, in most GMs, they're going to want to make it work and they're going to try to justify the money. And the only way to justify it will never be justified because he's grossly overpaid. But it's force feed that motherfucker the ball and show that he's a true one in the NFL, which he is not. Good player. Love him for Dynasty. Love him for redraft. Early on, I think we got to temper our expectations because Daniel Jones, if he does even start week 1, the biggest issue is mobility and arm strength and pushing off and then giving and trusting himself by getting hits, which means longer standing in the pocket longer, which is going to affect the deep ball. So that's why I love Josh Downs early in the year. I'm not saying I don't like Alec Pierce will still return value if he continues going wide receiver 36. Real life, I don't like the Alec Pierce signing. Fantasy wise, I love the Alec Pierce signing. So for Dynasty, young player, again, I loved Alec Pierce coming out of Cincinnati. Dude's an athletic freak. He is white, but that's the only thing white about him is his skin color because that dude is so athletic, so hoppy. Guys, like he's like playing on a trampoline. The dude just fucking jumps out of the fucking gym, the field. Love Alec Pierce. You agree, Ray? I'm gonna get a beer while you talk about Alec Pierce for a second, and take a pee. Hold on. Before I do this, I'm going to play a clip because I'm going to be a second. And then you can talk about Alec Pierce.
You just asked me to talk, and you're playing the clip.
You can. You can get. Then you can get your. You can really get your thoughts in order.
Stone shield potions should be. Oh God, I'm gonna have diarrhea again. You can't go to the bathroom. You're stacking Sunder armor. It's okay. Mom, bathroom.
What, hon?
Bathroom. Bathroom.
Oh, that's a big boy, isn't he?
All right, Kenny, drink your elixir of the mongoose. I'm now going to use mocking blow.
You know, Rob, I have a real big problem with you playing that clip because you want me to gather my fucking thoughts on this question, and you play that? You play that. You play that clip, which is by far probably, it might be in my number one funniest South Park clip I've ever seen in my entire life, that Cartman shits on his mom. And you play that and you want me to gather my actual good thoughts on this Alec Pierce situation? You're not helping shit, my friend. So anyways, everybody, sorry. I had to fucking Ray Rob because he's having great clips. So with Alec Pierce, I'm still not convinced that he's going to be a number one. I mean, obviously they paid him. That's what the plan is. I wouldn't be shocked if he lives up to it. I also wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't. My point is I think he's going to end up somewhere in the middle. Because here's the thing, everybody, if you don't know this, he does average around like he's over 20 yards per reception is an average. Rob, am I wrong?
20 this past season for a career right around 20, which is elite. Now that's always paired with this past season 47 catches. Usually it's 40 catches, but that's still not like 20 catches, right? That's still a decent volume for that amount of yards per catch.
Well, and here's the thing, everybody, that he's big. He's 6'3", 6'4". He takes the top off the defense. He can he jump. I mean, he's got great, jumping ability. And it sucks because bringing back to my Bears fandom, he sort of seems like what I would want Roma Dunze to do. And Roma Dunze showed a lot of things in college, is why he got drafted. But then when he's been in the NFL, hasn't been doing those.
Roma Dunze has been playing below the rim in his NFL career so far, which is
that's what I'm getting at, to where Alec Pierce plays above the rim, to where he goes up and he catches it with his hands. He gets up there. I've seen it. Roma Dunze did that in college, not doing it in the NFL, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And you're frustrating when you try to make me give my fucking thoughts and you play literally the funniest clip in fucking
sorry, I missed a couple comments. I'm going to go back up and get to everyone's comment. JD says, what's going on, JD? What's up? I gave my Steelers friend shit for the Pittman signing. Speaking of the Colts wide receivers. See, I actually like the Pittman signing.
Well, why would you give him shit for that? That's funny to me.
Well, no, he makes a lot of money. So let me look at his contract exactly.
But again, he's a perfect offset to what DK Metcalf does. DK Metcalf takes off the top, takes the top off a defense. Pittman does
so it was 3 years, $59 million, but it's only $24 million in guaranteed money, $22 million signing bonus. So it's $20 million a year. I like that contract more than Alec Pierce's. I feel like Alec Pierce probably has more upside, but Michael Pittman is a productive NFL receiver, and that's exactly what the Steelers need. Look at who the Steelers were running out there last year: Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, all those shitty tight ends. Like, it was really bad, and DK Metcalf needs a guy to get underneath.
You call Pat Fryermuth and fucking Jonnu Smith shitty.
He's fine. He's fine. They're fine.
I'm joking, because they're average.
I feel like Michael Pittman pairs so well with DK Metcalf, and now you can actually, it's going to make DK better. Maybe not for fantasy, but for real life, you're going to actually be able to use DK properly and not have double teams and shell over the top on DK. Now you have Michael Pittman, and they love using they're going to use Michael Pittman essentially as a tight end, and he actually can get open and actually catch the goddamn ball. He's 6'5". And the reason I do love the contract's a little rich, and I say a little rich, it's Wan'Dale Robinson-esque. I like Michael Pittman more than Wan'Dale Robinson, but it's the fact they got him for a 6th-round pick. They didn't sign him in free agency, and they stole him from the Colts. So I'm fine. I wouldn't give him too much shit. I like it. I like what the Steelers have done in free agency, honestly. You ready to chug?
I'm out of beer, so.
Oh, okay. I just got this. Jay says, Mouth, I saw your team on the Discord. One of them is a solid A and the other is a B. I'm guessing the solid A is the one he did on the stream. Let's see. GT says, investing in the line is an afterthought. Though it seems that it's bananas. He's talking about the Linderbaum contract. Probably. I got hope for the Raiders becoming decent. Their offensive line was just awful. And also just the scheme and like what they were doing with Pete Carroll's son being the coordinator. It was Pete Carroll. That was essentially him collecting a social security check. Is what he was doing.
Rob, can I please address this real quick? Easy enough. The Raiders, aka Mark Davis, what did the NFL just approve to do? Oh, to force him to sell the team. Oh, that's what they did. Yeah, okay. And this asshole fucked up the entire offensive line market. The tackles should be just jerking off everywhere. Fucking Danny, what's his name? Danny McBride style. And this is the end.
I got a rather large ejaculate. I can't. I hold on and just hope I don't fucking lose it.
Dude, Rob, let's be real. Like when a tackle who's an elite tackle, aka I'm sorry right now, when I'm not too super happy when I'm saying this, but Darnell Wright, was second all-team all-pro right tackle last year for the Bears. He's on a rookie contract. He's due a contract, brand new, coming up very soon. That dude and his agent probably just laughed their way and just dancing. They were like, a center got 20 million average? Oh, baby. Oh, yeah.
A lot of fucking money, bro.
Dude, all the guards and the tackles, whoever the fuck Lindenbaum's, is it Drew Rosenhaus? I don't know who his agent is.
I'm guessing it probably is.
I would assume as well. But if it isn't, whoever the fuck he is going to become a superstar. I'm assuming it's got to be Drew Rosenhausen because he's the only type of dude who can get that contract. But yeah, it's just insane. I like what they did because he's amazing. Like that's going to help them a lot. The money for the NFL and the repercussions, I think, is just going to be a fucked up situation when it comes to O-line. Money and their numbers.
I missed Mouth's comment. This is back to our Star Wars conversation.
Yeah, right.
Ray, there were no models in the prequels. The newer stuff had actual models and motion stop. The prequels were all CGI, but that I kind of like that CGI because it didn't try too hard and it was fine.
No, that's what I mean. It wasn't so like crisp looking to look fake. It was just not real enough to look real. I know that doesn't make sense, but CGI doesn't look real right now. That technology looked real enough to where you believed it. Like I could believe I was walking in episode 3, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. I could be like walking through any of those and it looked real, like any of those scenes. But like these newer ones, and to be honest, dude, the only reason I like any of these fucking sequels is because the main character's name is Rey. And they don't even spell it right because it's a goddamn girl. It's spelled with an E. So, and she sucks. I bang.
Yeah, I was not. She's kind of hot, but yeah, for sure. Yeah. GT, I also give you the PTSD speech in the original First Blood for Stallone. He definitely had a lot of emotion, and you can just see that he played off the the veteran like PTSD angle pretty well for Stallone. So you know what, Stallone definitely had more acting chops than Arnold. He's probably a better actor than Arnold. Again, I prefer Arnold as an action star. His movies, like Arnold's Run,
hey, can you continue?
Predator, Terminator, T2.
Can you finish the comment though? You didn't read the rest of it.
Yeah, Tulsa King also had great acting moments too. You talked up Tulsa King, so
just letting you know, you should probably watch it. I'll give you my Paramount, and you can watch it. You already have it, I think, but I'll re-give it. I said, it's just it is entertaining because he plays like a New York mafia dude who just like ends up in Oklahoma and like showing up all those Billy Bobs. Like, oh, you look at you fancy pants. I bought these pants off a hobo. Homer when he catches the fish.
JD says Pittman isn't bad. Just my initial thought he was a little overpaid. That I agree with that one. They need some more speed in that offense. Yeah, he's not a speed guy. They also need a professional receiver. Calvin Austin is a speedster. He's gone now. Calvin Austin's terrible.
Can we talk about quarterback there? I mean, is it for sure Rodgers like guaranteed?
80%.
Huh?
I'd say 80% he's back.
I mean, I know McCarthy's there, but again, like, okay, well, let's leave it this. You think they're drafting a quarterback in this draft, the Steelers? Or when I say drafting, 5th round and above.
Oh, yeah. I was more thinking the Ty Simpson connection. And here's my issue with Ty Simpson. Now I like Ty Simpson more than small hand Kenny Pickett, but I feel like they got a little burned from this. And like they need to stop with these fringe prospects. And as much as a lot of people will argue that Ty Simpson's not a fringe prospect, I think he is. I know he's a project. And they need to just tear it down and not keep on winning 9 games every year, because it's like it's the same thing as an NBA team winning 43 games like the Bulls have been doing forever. You got to be either awesome or terrible and pull a Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Steelers are too much of a proud franchise to do that, unfortunately, which I don't understand. They have smart fans. Sometimes you got to lose for a couple years to be elite and be good again. So Aaron Rodgers, because of McCarthy, I say 80%. That would make sense. But Ty Simpson, he's going to be a first-round pick, man. I don't really like him. You know who I like? Drew Aller. Drew Aller is perfect. He's a big guy. When I see the ball come out of his hands, he didn't have the best profile coming out of college, not the most production in Penn State. He actually got worse. His last year, it was partially injuries. But watching him in the combine throw, some Josh Allen vibes, not so much athletically, but the way the ball comes out of his hand, it is a little flick of the wrist, fucking 50 yards downfield. I love a big-bodied, big-arm quarterback. And you can get Drew Aller in the 3rd round. I would take Ty Simpson in a vacuum. Like if you're talking about just pick 30, I would take Ty Simpson over Drew Aller. But I would take with the value of a 3rd round pick compared to end of the 1st. Give me Drew Aller all fucking day and twice on Sunday. Really like that kid. Here's a good one from JD. Favorite draft prospect. So I'm going to give you a couple names. I know we're not quite into April. That's when we're going to really dive into this. But starting at tight ends, I really, really, really like Michael Trigg. Guy that hasn't been talking. He didn't do much at the combine. He is strictly what they call a joker tight end, as they would call him in the Broncos with Sean Payton. Not a very good blocker. He's a willing blocker, long arms, but undersized, 240 pounds. But I think if he's in the right spot, this guy is a matchup nightmare. I think he had the longest arms ever measured at the tight end position, which is crazy, and that matters. Another guy I love is Max Clare out of Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, he did not do a lot. He was asked to block a lot because Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith and the running game and all that stuff. But he was at Purdue, I believe. So he was at Purdue the first 2 years of his college career, and he was their number one. He had like an 80-catch season. I love Max Clare. He's probably going to be the 2nd tight end, 3rd tight end. I think Stowers will go ahead of him, which is a mistake. Max Clare is a better version of Sam Laporta as a draft prospect. So love Max Clare. So those are and also Sam Roush is a guy that's probably be a 4th or 5th round pick. He's day one ready to play. Quarterbacks, like I said, I really do like Drew Aller. That would be my guy. Really weak quarterback class. It is gross. Running backs, this is a guy that's been getting a lot of hate. I know.
Real quick with the quarterback. So you think that?
I'm gonna get to Mouse Super real quick before I get to the rest of the guys. Mouse says that wasn't the CGI, it's the resolution you watched it in. If you watch the prequels in 6 to 8K resolution, sorry, I can't really. You see it in today, it would look fake. Is that true? Mouse knows his shit. Mouse is a fucking genius.
It doesn't matter. Like what he just said, like I didn't watch that shit in 6 to 8K, Mouth. I watched it in the shit that it showed it to me.
That's his point. Yeah.
I know that's his point, but that's also my point. We agree to agree. I don't know. Like you can say what you want, Mouth. My eyes tell me one thing, and they tell me the sequels suck my dick. And they fucking main character was named Ray. How about that? That's a bad fucking call.
Love that one. All right, let's get back to my running backs here that I like. Emmett Johnson's a guy that he hurt his stock a lot at the combine. Why he chose to do the 3-cone drill when no one else did it, and there was a guy who was supposed to excel at that. He had like 16 percentile 3-cone drill at 204 pounds. Ran a 4.6 40. I didn't project him to run very fast. I think he's got the best vision in this class, some of the best feet, which I know it's funny I say he had that bad 3-cone drill. I love Emmett Johnson, especially now you can get him in the 3rd round. I think he is. I see. It's crazy to say. I'm trying to think down here. Fuck. Who was the Jets running back? The fucking Hall of Fame guy. Curtis Martin. That's my comp for him. I know it's crazy to say Curtis Martin. That's my comp for him. So that's a guy I've been loving. I don't care about the combine as much as most. I'm not off him at all. Another running back that I really like. Damon Claiborne. I feel like he is a scat back, but you know what? He has some Devin 8-chain vibes, and he modeled his game after Alvin Kamara. Never going to be a full workhorse, but no one thought Devin 8-chain would be a workhorse in the NFL, and he has actually been that. So that's another running back. I've loved Mike Washington, but now with his combine blow up, I think Mike Washington's going to be overdrafted. He might be a first round pick or like a top 40 pick. But I loved him. I thought he'd be like the 5th running back off the board before the combine. Me and Storey were talking about him 2 months ago. That's about it. I think Singleton out of Penn State, since he's been injured, didn't do anything in the combine. Disappointed there in Penn State the last couple of years. A really elite receiver at 225 pounds. He's a guy that's an X factor in this draft. I got a couple wide receivers for you as well. Where is my wide receiver page? I think it's the first page. It's ripped off somewhere. Here it is. I got it. Right here. Wide receiver page. Guys I love. Guy I hate, Elijah Surratt. Don't like him at all. I have Jordan Tyson as my number 1. I don't like any of these top 3. I think the top 3, I think it's a bad it's a very deep wide receiver class. Do not like the top 3. I'm very low on Carnell Tate. But Tyson for me has the highest upside in the draft. I love Zachariah Brandt out of Georgia. He is a very tough Tyreek Hill. I don't want to mention that name because no one's going to live up to that, but love him. Skylar Bell. I think Skylar Bell is the most pro-ready receiver in this draft. He went to UConn, yes, not the best competition, but Skylar Bell, he really reminds me of Stephon Diggs coming out of Maryland. A guy that is just, he had 100 catches. I love the production. That usually does transfer. Look at Harold Fannin, man. Bowling Green led all, not tight ends, all pass catchers and receptions last year, and got pushed down because his size, his 40 time is slow, and his, the school he played at, and he dominated. So that's my Skylar Bell.
Just real quick on the receivers here. Why do you not necessarily like? And again, I'm not saying I love the guy. Just watching him in college, he always showed up. Amari Cooper.
Omar Cooper's going to go way too high. He killed the combine.
Do you like him? Do you like him as a prospect?
He's a worse version than Zay Flowers. Now, he's a little better with the ball in his hands than Zay Flowers, but we've seen some of the warts in Zay Flowers' game, and that could very well be Baltimore's usage of him and Lamar just not being, Lamar's numbers in terms of efficiency and the passer rating is not like, it's because the scheme. Lamar is not, he's not Matt Stafford back there, right? And the way they use him, and Zay Flowers is a much more electric athlete than Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper's a little bigger. I would love Omar Cooper in the middle of the second round. He's going to go in the first round, and I have him at wide receiver 7 right now. So
I'm saying I'm saying in college, like watching every Indiana game. I didn't watch every Indiana game. Anytime I watched them, though, that dude showed up. Like, so I understand everything else has many things to go into it. I was just sort of curious your thoughts on him. That's all.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's the highest floor, based on we're going to draft him, the highest floor wide receiver in this draft. Like, he will be a day 1 contributor. He will be a perennial starter. I don't see the upside of Omar Cooper being an elite 1. And if you're going to draft a guy in the first round,
correct,
he's going to go in where we saw Justin Jefferson go in the NFL draft, let's say high teens, low 20s. Like, I guess you can do worse, but you can do a lot better. Maybe not in this draft. I think he would just pass in the position. And the last guy I like that also got really hurt from the combines, Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. Love Malachi Fields. He ran really slow. This dude is his ball skills. He's aggressive. I think he's a monster. He is going to be what we wanted Keon Coleman to be. And he's not going to separate very much. The difference is Keon Coleman doesn't come down with those 50-50 balls. And also, obviously, all the stuff, not off the field, but in the locker room and missing meetings and shit. Malachi Fields is a great kid. You don't have to worry about him there. And then this dude is a full effort engine type player. And I do love Malachi Fields. I think he's going to be a 4th round pick now, 3rd round pick, where before the combine, I was seeing people saying top 50. I think this dude didn't have the college production. I don't care. They had Jeremiah Love and Price, so they didn't need to throw the ball at all. So I love this kid, man. He dominated the Senior Bowl too. So that's a guy I'm just way high. These are guys I'm higher on than consensus.
No, I get that. What are your thoughts on Jeremiah Love? And do you think he's a better prospect going into college than Bijan? Same level? How many steps below?
No. Bijan is Adrian Peterson level.
Okay.
He's
okay,
closer to
you
Gibbs.
say that, but look how they're talking about this guy. I'm not saying I believe every word they're saying.
It's also every year, right? Everything. It's always the new shiny toy, and he's such leaps and bounds better than the second running back. And it's a weak run. It's a weak running back class for sure.
This is
it's
why
not,
I'm asking, Ram. Just asking questions.
I would put him as a prospect. I would put him. I'm going to put him between Gibbs. I'm talking about recent guys between Gibbs. So I rank it as like Bijan, Gibbs, and Genty, right?
Sure.
Where Bijan's clearly the best we've seen in a long time. Gibbs has some warts in his game. He's actually not the best receiver. He drops a lot of passes, but with the ball in his hands, he's elite. I would have him between better than Genty, but worse than Gibbs, and probably closer to Gibbs than Genty. And again, I love Genty too, but Genty just isn't as dynamic as those guys. So if I have, let's say I give a grade of Bijan 10, Gibbs 9, Genty 7, I would go 8.3 for Jeremiah Love, which is a pretty elite grade. And what I love about him is that he actually is coming into the league with what I saw with how he could run routes, like not even routes in the backfield, but routes, and his size. He's really long and lanky. He's coming in as the best, even Bijan level receiver.
I was telling you, Mouth is saying that they said, look, Love compares to CMC.
Yeah, but a way better athlete.
He's a
supercharged CMC. CMC is probably better laterally. Was better laterally than Jeremiah Love, but Jeremiah Love has home run speed, and like, let's be honest, CMC never had true home run speed.
No.
He was the guy that would get 40 or 50 yards, not 70 or 80, where, and even Bijan doesn't really have home run speed. He has enough where Gibbs has that.
Well, his 80-yard touchdown
Gibbs
was
has
different last year for his first game. I'll tell you a little different.
Yeah, because he makes three guys miss, and then he's enough to he has enough speed to keep that distance from the safety. Where like Jahmyr
so he
Gibbs
doesn't have it, but he has
it.
it. But you fucking make it right now.
He doesn't have it compared to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, if it's like a safety and Gibbs, he will end up having a 5-yard buffer by the end zone. Where like Bijan keeps the buffer, if that makes sense. He's fast enough, but CMC is not as fast as Bijan, right?
No,
little less of an athlete.
Correct.
And Gibbs has that, but I think Jeremiah Love is 95% of Gibbs' fucking full speed, and that's saying a lot because he's a bigger player.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so let's get back to some more comments. Mao says Austin replaces Hyatt and the Giants, and hell no, the Steelers are all in on Will Howard. They do love Will Howard, and yeah, well, we could replace Jalen Hyatt, another one of those failed Tennessee receivers, and I believe that Chris Brazzell is going to be getting a lot of love, and I like him probably the most of all these Tennessee guys. But if you don't know anything about Tennessee's offense, they have their wide receivers essentially lining up out of bounds. Like they are like 4 yards from the sideline. So like there is no hope to get any safety, anything over the top. So it's literally like an elite athlete. These guys are all fast. And they're just going into overmatched corners with no help. And it's a spread out offense. It just doesn't translate to the NFL. Brazzell's huge. Brazzell's fast. We'll see. He's better than Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt was also a first round pick. So don't have a lot of hope for him.
But real quick, you're 100% correct. Like that's why like when we watch, the draft and listening to NFL draft pundits and the way they think about players, especially with receiver and tight ends, like when they talk about that these guys can like a one trick pony. Yeah, they won 2 or 3 routes. That's it. That's all they're really capable of. Yeah. A streak, a post, and a fucking cross. Really? That's all that's really like what they really know and they're really good at. Like they can't do the other 15, 20 routes. No. Like they can try, but they're just not elite. They're elite at those 3 though. I promise you, they'll beat everybody on those 3. The NFL is like, okay, well, you're getting drafted in the 5th round then. Like you're not a first round pick, 2nd round pick, like 3rd round pick. The NFL, especially when you have these guys of Ben Johnson, McVay, Sean Payton, Randy Reed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, with all these super offensive minds, they have to be able to have them with the most complex plays to be able to fool these defenses, especially with, everybody's just smarter and more faster and more effective and athletic and everything. And with technology, everything is just, if you can get a little bit extra over your opponent, it's going a long way these days compared to the old days. You know, like you had film. Everything else is AI. I mean, we have so much shit. Who knows what the fucking NFL teams are using to get their upper hand these days? You know.
JD, the Steelers, they should tough it out. Here's the issue with that, because the quarterback class next year might rival. I don't think it will, but it'd be close to that Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, which is looks like it might be an all-time quarterback class already. Bo Nix as well. The moves they made in free agency, I love what they did. They're in a win. They have a win now, almost a win now roster. I'm gonna say almost. If they had an elite quarter, if they had Drake May on this team, like I think I like the Steelers roster as much as the Patriots roster. So they're too good to win like 5 games. Like they are too good. McCarthy's still a professional coach. Like I don't care if you throw a piece of shit quarterback there, they're going to win 5 games, 6 games, which is going to keep them out of the top 10 in the NFL draft. And yeah, you can still get this draft might go 60 for quarterback, but it's just, they're in a weird situation. They got to figure that shit out. Miles says, everything I see out of Pittsburgh is they want Aaron Rodgers to help develop Howard the way they helped develop Love. I think Aaron Rodgers has softened on that, before he didn't want to help Love at all. I think at this point he knows he needs to do his best to just, also set a little legacy for himself as a guy that's willing to help, develop somebody and just ride off into the sunset. And if he's starting, whatever the case is, if they're losing, then he can get benched and just maybe put a happy face on.
Yeah, more importantly, to be honest, because Rob, let's be real, through his politics, through his science, many people fucking hate him. He doesn't give a shit if people hate him. So to be honest with what you just said, I'm not the biggest component of agreeing with that. What I more would agree with is that it's his boy, Mike McCarthy. He wants to set him up for the future and not fuck him over. And more importantly, for letting people like you, who really could care less about Aaron Rodgers, like you love and appreciate his talent. What I'm saying is, like, what if he didn't turn around and do what you said to back up and be a good mentor this year? Would you think less of him compared to,
no.
Right. That's what I'm just sort of getting at, is that I get where you're coming from with that. I don't think he gives a shit about that. I think he more gives a shit about setting up his friend and his boy head coach to not have a failure in the future. That is where he will make the difference and even be a more of an asset to whatever rookie quarterback they bring in over Jordan
And
Love.
from all reports, he's pretty tight with Will Howard, right? Where, like, I understand the Jordan Love thing was he was still young enough, and like they drafted Jordan Love in the first round. I can see the resentment there. Will Howard was with a 5th round pick. Like, I feel like he wasn't threatened, and he's softened his older age, so like that could be nice there. Mouth
100%.
loves Jadarian Price. He says to Detroit to be a nice spot. Now, I'm going to disagree with Mouth a little bit here. He said he's his favorite back in the draft. I have him at like 4, and here's my concern with Jadarian Price. When I watch this film, obviously elite O-line, and a lot of the highlights, a lot of the carries were like up 35-14. And it reminds me, and I loved Roschon Johnson coming out of the draft in Texas behind Bijan. And because his film was elite, dude. He remember him like hurdling all those guys. And Roschon Johnson's been like, I'm not going to like sugarcoat this. He's been straight trash in the NFL. And he's had opportunity. Last year was the prime opportunity. And Kyle Monangai, a 7th round pick, literally got the carries over him. So my worry about these guys now, of course, anyone in this draft would have been backup to Jeremiah Love, right? Anyone would have been backup to Bijan Robinson. I understand that. I'm just saying the film is just hard to. It's just hard to understand what I'm watching when he's not a feature back. And I'm not like doing negative points because he wasn't the starter, because again, no one's starting over Jeremiah Love. No one's even earning more of a workload over Jeremiah Love. But I'm just always a little trepidatious about these guys that are ancillary pieces facing either it's blowouts and it's not backups, but it's a defense that's worn down, right? And Jeremiah Love has worn this defense down. Now you get to come in and it's money. Remember Tony Pollard, the year he went off with Zeke, and Tony Pollard is so much more efficient, so much better than Zeke, because Zeke was just pounding the ball up the middle 20 times and just fucking destroying the defense and the linebackers. And then Tony Pollard came in and scored a 40-yard touchdown. And like at that stage of their career, I feel like Tony Pollard and Zeke that Tony Pollard is actually a better player at that point, but the numbers were so on the side of Tony Pollard being a better running back. And we've seen that in the last couple of years of Tennessee. So like that's kind of my comparison. That's why I can't go as like I'm not putting him ahead of Jeremiah Love. And me personally, I'm going to put him right there with Mike Washington. I personally like Emmett Johnson more. I know that sounds crazy. Emmett Johnson's slow. He's small. Only had 1 year of production in Nebraska. I don't care. I love this guy. And I still do like, I do still like Jadarian Price, though. This is a question for you. Favorite Asian dish, Ray? This is right up your alley, baby. We just had it tonight. We just had it. We can kind of look from this picture and kind of see what his favorite one is. I think as the answer, all of them.
Well,
thinking.
Well, no, I mean, one dish is a very hard thing to say because, to be honest, if I had to say one thing if I had one dish that's Asian that I could eat every day and not be sick of it, fried rice. But that's not the right answer. You know what I'm getting at? So like, but in reality, in my eyes, fried rice is the right answer. But like, we'll just like, I'll just use Chinese food. Favorite entree that I order, like when I order Chinese food. I'm weird. I have a combination. I really just in general, like I don't know if you ever look on like Chinese food restaurants, but like, you can see like it says you can choose shrimp, chicken, beef, pork, whatever with vegetables. And it, you know, like it's not an actual true Asian dish. It's probably a very Americanized dish. But in general, the reason I like it because they put so many different vegetables in it with a like the brown sauce that they use with like broccoli, beef and broccoli. It's like a garlic brown sauce that I love. And they just use that and then just like mix it with whatever, you know, meat you want. Like that's always good for me. But in general, just to answer the actual question, Hunan beef, because that is basically Hunan is a Chinese territory. It's like their special type of cooking. It's a spicy dish. It uses a bunch of different vegetables. And then I use beef. I ask for beef. You can use chicken, shrimp, whatever. It's Hunan, Hunan. I probably pronounced something wrong, but the Hunan.
A little spicy too, right? A little spicy.
Yeah. Yep. And that Mongolian beef I love. Broccoli beef. I used to love eating chicken and pea pod. The pea pods. Yeah, I mean, dude, Chinese food. Me and Rob went to a Chinese food fucking buffet and every fucking thing.
It was great. Yeah. The first thing I actually had was garlic bread, which is funny. When I was you were talking about the Chinese food, and what it brought me back to was this. I wish I had this clip in here. The Seinfeld cigar store Indian episode where he's trying to feed. He's like, I want to do a really good Szechuan place around here. I don't know where it's at. And he asked the postal worker. He didn't see who's Asian. He's like, you must know where the Chinese restaurant is. He's like, why must I know?
Why would I know?
Why ask you?
How about I ask you?
Where's the hamburger store?
Yeah, where is this hamburger store?
He's like, no, I asked you because not because you're Asian, because you work for the post office.
Yeah, you work around the neighborhood. Yeah,
I'm out here with a $10 banger.
Last thing, that is what is that not wrong? I mean, he's not wrong to do that. You just like turn around and like you see like the postal. We have the Rob Squared personal finance. I'm saying
I don't think it would be wrong to ask an Asian person where the best Chinese restaurant is. I don't think that's racist at all.
No, because someone asked me like,
if someone asked me where's the best place to buy like a golf polo,
Euro,
wouldn't be oh, bro, like what? You think I'm a middle class white dude?
Hey, fuck you. Stick to food. Where's the best Euro? You could give somebody an answer. That's a white man fucking dish. You know what I mean?
Or no, it'd be like if someone asked us the best place to eat, and because we're bigger dudes, being like, oh, what you think is I'm fat? I know where to eat. Yeah, actually, I do know where to eat. Mouse says AZ, Arizona for A-Chain. Miami needs Sunny Styles. That would be great. James Conner to Miami. Arizona drafts Simpson at 12. Remember how we were thinking, how does Arizona get Simpson?
Right.
They get A-Chain too. They have so many running backs. I guess A-Chain and Algier would pair very well together. That's a nice combination right there. That's some lightning and thunder, dude.
That would be a different version of the Bijan Algier, clearly, because A-Chain and Bijan much different. Well, maybe not much different, but they are different enough to where A-Chan's a little bit smaller, much more. I shouldn't say much more, but is more explosive than Bijan. Basically, you got the thunder and lightning at that point.
Yeah, a chain. What does a counselor call him? A chain? Like another guy that he has just been ripping on for years that he's terrible and
and
he keeps on getting it wrong. Yeah. He's just so funny. The guys he's been saying are bad is he hates James Cook. And I'm not a James Cook believer, honestly, but I don't ever say he sucks. And like, he's just so wrong on the takes of like these guys that keep on blowing up. Like he's been saying James Conner's a bum for years. And I don't love James Conner, but like James Conner is always a value in fantasy because people like the counselor who just like James Conner sucks.
Well, you know, Rob,
Trey Benson's better. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You keep drafting that guy because he fucking sucks. And I'm not even backing him up with him being counselor. James Conner recently, when I say recently on Arizona, he's good for
RB1.
weeks.
He's an RB1 every year.
Yeah.
No. He's been playing 13 games a year.
Fair.
That's fine. But when you're getting him in the 6th round, he's giving you RB1 value when he plays. It's always a good pick.
Yeah, of course.
Mao says if Love has CMC's career, the team that drafts him will be fucking ecstatic. And here, I wasn't trying to slander CMC, guys. What I'm saying, what we don't realize about CMC is CMC's football IQ is probably the best in the NFL. And his, it's like the Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes thing is how is he always open? Because the connections there, and Travis Kelce is a genius mixed with Andy Reid. CMC is a very, very good receiver, elite hands, very good route runner. As a running back, he has good vision, but he's not exactly the most athletic guy, but he is a smart football player. And like, that's what we don't know about Jeremiah Love. That's what we don't know about some of these prospects. And CMC, elite in terms of those things.
Well, I got 2 things to say about what you just said. One, where did CMC go to college, and who the fuck is his dad?
There you
NFL
go. Pedigree.
Legend Ed McCaffrey and Stanford. Dude is smart as fuck. 100% makes sense. Is why I agree with you. He is an elite, if not the top IQ running back in the NFL, football IQ. But then also, I guess I'll just leave it at this. Have you seen Love's run where it just doesn't give up? That near
the goal line. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm just saying, when I watched that, I automatically knew that guy will make it in the NFL. Besides injury, unfortunately, if that happens for him, but he has the heart, he has the want to fucking make it happen.
I
mean, that goes a long way. It really does in my eyes. That is like a never. I mean, that is a gift at this point. It has that. Then you call my name like a little prayer. The fucking chorus, the choir song of Madonna from the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. Like that's a very viral video I've seen a million times at this point, just scrolling through fucking Instagram and whatnot or social media. And it's just so epic. I watch it every time because that is probably one of the greatest runs I've ever seen. Like, especially in slow-mo. It's crazy.
Oh my God. JD, thoughts on Thieneman, the safety from Oregon? You think he's overhyped because of a good combine? No, I don't. He's going to get overdrafted, but I don't think he's overhyped, if that makes sense. I
hope he's not overhyped because the Bears might draft.
I think he was at Purdue, and I would comp him to, not just because of the fact he's white as a safety, Reed Blankenship, but he is a more souped-up version. And the dude has great instincts. He's got great ball skills. From all accounts, he is a very savvy, like the CMC I was talking about, he's a very smart guy. And like, as a safety, that shit goes a long way. And the fact that his athleticism is through the roof, he's a guy that doesn't need to have that to be a successful NFL player. I love this kid, and he will be overdrafted because the combine, that a little scares me.
So again,
I think he could go like middle of the first round.
No, if the Bears draft him at 25, are you gonna be mad?
No, I would love that.
I'm just letting you know because mock drafts are showing him going there, and we don't have a second safety right now. So
right, Mouth. If Brazo gets drafted to the Bears, I'm gonna be pissed, and he does not. There's no way he fits the same slot receiver. Brazo's only ran 3 routes. His route tree is 3 routes. It's a go. I think it's a go, a dig, and a slant. Like, he's an outside receiver. I think he's bad too.
Okay, so Rob, Mouth, I love you. You clearly, man. You know me, Mouth. I will.
He's getting under your skin about the Bears.
Rob just said he'd be pissed. I will fucking break everything in my fucking room in my house. We just traded away DJ Moore. Why would we draft another receiver this fucking high?
It would be that second round pick too. It would be probably that second round pick we got.
No,
give me Malachi Fields in the fourth round.
No offense.
Give me an
that
X
high.
receiver.
The first, second need to be all defense, unless it is O-line, a tackle that they believe in that can be the future.
Or can I sell you on Jeremy Bernard to the Bears? That's a good spot because he's a Swiss Army knife, Deebo Samuel type. Or a guy like Skylar Bell, who I know can come in day one and produce, and he could actually play that slot role. He comps as the guy that can play all three receiver positions.
No. I know no receivers. Nope. I know. I will be fucking pissed.
Third round, though. If you get Skylar Bell in the third round, I'm down.
Third round's different. I did not. You didn't listen to me. I said first, second. No receiving
I got it.
anything. I will be pissed.
We have more needs. John, this is every draft cycle is the same old story. Some players get super hyped up just for the clicks and views. And that's also in terms of the fantasy community. This is a counselor thing. It's every rookie gets overhyped and he refuses to ever draft anyone that's been in the league for more than 2 years because they're old, which is insane because Devontae Adams did he lead the league in touchdowns as a receiver? He would have if he didn't get hurt, if he didn't. But Devontae Adams is
he was leading the league when he got hurt.
Right. I'm just saying like that. And that's an extreme example of an old player. But like a guy in their third year, like that's when guys break out. I know now it's like because of what Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and, the tight ends and Brock Bowers and Laporta have done. We all expect that immediate return, right? Which is not always the case. Look at guys, look at the year 3 receivers this year, coming into this year. Last year, the year 2 guys, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison, the list goes on. Those guys all flopped. And I'm not giving up on them. I think this is a good value. We should be all targeting all of those year 3 receivers this year.
That's a lie. You said Ladd McConkey was a flop. That's not true. He was
a second round draft pick.
He was also his rookie year. How is he a flop?
No, all these guys flopped in the second year.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
Right. Brian Thomas had an elite rookie year.
Yes,
they all flopped year 2.
My bad.
And Ladd McConkey, he was a compiler, but it was a bad year. It was like 900 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Dude, people drafted him in the second round. He was a complete fucking flop. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're right. Bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got you.
My bad.
JD.
My bad.
On the run off script, he can still do it, but it looks like he's a slow motion now. Yeah, you know what's funny though is that he's actually, which is the craziest thing about Tua Tagovailoa, like Tua is like Aaron Rodgers is still more athletic and better on the run than Tua. And I'm not saying that's not like a high bar. I'm just saying Tua is 28 years old. Like, what the hell are we talking about here? Aaron Rodgers is old. How many like injuries and the recent Achilles injury?
43.
Aaron Rodgers.
43.
And he wasn't the most athletic guy. He wasn't the most athletic guy
3 years
when
ago
he was
now.
in his prime. He was athletic, but he wasn't like this. Wasn't Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or any of these guys.
Okay, well,
he was an average, a little above average athlete, right? Amazing at throwing on the run. I'm saying he was never like scrambling for 50 yards in the game.
Lamar,
he was never doing
Allen,
these things. He wasn't
correct.
breaking
He was never
tackles,
that. Yes. But hey, you know what? Tom Brady was what, like athleticism on Madden scale of a 5, 10?
Yeah. Look at Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's still in the league, man. Still playing.
Hey, you know what? God bless that man. You know what? I appreciate him so much. Way more than when he won the Super Bowl. Do you agree?
My wife loves Joe Flacco. She's like, why isn't Joe Flacco starting this year? I'm like, well, because he's old and he's a fine backup. But you know what? I'd rather have Joe Flacco than JJ McCarthy.
Right. But I'm saying in general, like right now, you appreciate Joe Flacco more than when he won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I also have a JJ McCarthy clip for you.
Yeah, Dad. You need some of this.
This is cum.
See, real quick, I'm going to help you out. What you really need to do is two back-to-back clips when you do that. Add in the clip when Always Sunny, when they talk about drinking the cream pies. Yeah, I've never tried mine. Yeah, I tried mine. I didn't like it. No, I liked it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I liked it. Well, I showed you that.
I know what you're talking about. I just want you to confirm you know what I'm talking about.
Me and Nico had that conversation. I had that conversation about how I've tasted mine. And it's kind of secondhand tasting when you bust in a girl's mouth. And like they want to kiss you afterwards, you can't be rude and not kiss them. So I've kissed girls after I've come in their mouth. So I've got the secondhand taste, and it didn't taste bad. So there you go. JD says teriyaki chicken with some onions and peppers might be my favorite. Simple but delicious. I like simple. I like orange chicken as well. JD, You got to get in the Discord, JD. Join the community. I've seen you on here recently. We appreciate you. And this show goes on 24 hours in the Discord. Private DM message with all the co-hosts. Also, just the group chats. It's the ultimate. It's the place to be. So, professionalfanatics.com. If you want to check that out and join in now. Like I said, everything's going to go up next year, but I'm going to keep it the same for now. Once you get in, nothing ever changes in terms of the tiers, even when inflation hits. Like, y'all are grandfathered in. So get in on the first wave with some of these guys. I know it's year 2, but before the football season starts, before we really ramp up here in June and July, some good deals to be support the show. And join this great community, these great people, including Mouth and Jay.
He's a Vikings fan. He's a Vikings fan. Get your in here. We'll fucking talk shit all day, brother. Good.
You and Wally will have a lot to talk about. You and Wally and the JJ McCarthy love. No one would ever ask you. You're white. You've had no idea what seasoning is. Now Ray's all about seasoning, and he's very white. But Ray's also a food connoisseur and loves it. You live for that shit.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple fucking idea when you cook. Put some goddamn seasoning on your fucking food. Salt, pepper, garlic powder.
Here we go. We had someone talk about what was the sandwich from McDonald's? Everyone saw the Big Arch.
The Big Arch, yeah.
JD says, yeah, every time I eat McDonald's, I feel like shit afterwards. Ray picked me up today for golf, and as you guys know, you see Ray eating the show. He'll eat, he has a giant meal. It'll take him 3 hours to eat because he's talking and shit, but he savors his food. Ray, when did you finish that burger? Was that the 18th hole? So Ray got McDonald's at, we want to say it was 1 o'clock, and you finished it at 6. I had the first bite. He gave me the first bite. It was okay, but you said it was a $15 meal. The Big Arch is a $15 meal with a large.
I told you that will be. I almost guarantee. Everybody watching this will laugh, but I promise you that will probably be the last time I'll ever eat McDonald's. I'll just go to Burger King or Wendy's or Taco Bell and eat F-grade
money
meat.
And have better.
F-grade meat that doesn't fucking. And mind you, I know you may not believe me when I say this, but I can easily, when I say easily, it will take me a minute to find it, but I can find it and send it to you. McDonald's does allow up to 8% human meat into their meat.
Human?
Yes. And there's that. So we are living in Soylent Green. And everybody, if you don't know what Soylent Green is, you got a fucking problem. You're a little too young and look it up. It's a futuristic in a movie where in the future, Soylent Green was like Captain Crunch or Cinnamon Toast Crunch or whatever. It was just made of humans. Yeah.
JD says some human toes and ears thrown in there. It kind of reminds me of the Sunny thing when he's talking about the human stew. When he's running the sweatshop, he's like, when someone died or they lose an arm, we throw it in the stew and they're eating each other. I will say this. I eat McDonald's for a snack. I will go there for a snack. I spend $5. Never a meal. And the Big Arch was fine. Not worth the money. It's the best thing on the menu, but that's literally more expensive than going to Chili's or Applebee's. And that's insane. That's insane to me.
Everybody, me and Rob paid $18 each to go to the fucking all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. Yeah. I'll pay the extra $3, get real food, and all I can eat. Compared to God knows what the fuck is in that meat. And mind you, when you compare it to U.S. McDonald's fries to UK McDonald's fries, I can't tell you what's in the U.S. one because of the fucking chemical names I can't pronounce. And there's a laundry, Rob, when you look at it, it's a laundry list. Look at me. It's like this. You know what's in the UK McDonald's fries? Potato, salt, like 3 or 4 ingredients that you can read and you know.
JD has a good point. JT has a good point though. You get food poisoning because all the preservatives, so the shit doesn't spoil. Like you said, it doesn't have mold on it.
Yeah, they're trying to fucking kill us, bro. I said that earlier.
Really
like they are. That's why everybody watching, all of your great grandparents, your grandparents, they could smoke, drink, eat meat, eat butter, do where the fuck they want. Lived to fucking 90 to 100 years old, and they died. Now our parents and us, we're dying at fucking 70, 80, 60, 50. Kids are dropping dead at 19, 20, 25 years old. Now, I know why that is because of the vaccine that y'all took because you got clot shotted, but that's a whole nother story.
Shout out to Ryan in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while. Big dog.
Ryan,
appreciate you, man. Says, love
hey,
the
good
dog.
name.
We love you.
It's a good name. Great name.
What's your real
Actually,
name?
phenomenal name.
Let's see. JD. I really hope Thieneman falls to the Vikings. Harrison Smith is leaving a huge hole. Let's shout out to Harrison Smith for a great career, by the way. What a warrior. And as Bears fans, we saw a lot of Harrison Smith. What a ball hawk. Also really good against a run. Just a consummate pro. I think he's 34 years old. I'm guessing he's hanging up his cleats because I saw his last game. They kind of took him out of the game towards the end in a meaningless game. Standing ovation. That usually means either he's definitely gone with the Vikings. I think he's probably going to retire because why would he go for another franchise? He's taking a lot of hits. He's given a lot of hits.
He hasn't retired yet. The new league
hurt.
year has started. So I understand,
Yeah.
like, clearly it can happen whenever you want. But, like, if that
Well,
was the
Ray,
plan.
T.Y. Hilton just retired yesterday. And T.Y. Hilton hasn't played for 4 years. So
There was somebody else who just retired before him in another sport or in the NFL, right?
T.Y. Hilton, like, why are you making that announcement, T.Y.?
There was another guy. No, there was another guy. It was NBA or NFL that retired, and you're like, yeah, we knew that, dude. Like, you haven't been in the league, just like T.Y. Like, you haven't been in the league in 4 or 5 years. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ray, should an Italian sub have red or white onion?
Red. It's got some more, a little bit of spice, a little more kick.
Agreed. And also Italian seasoning or red wine vinegar.
Both.
Yeah, it's getting fucking sloppy, dude.
So Rob, have you ever been to Jersey Mike's?
Yeah, you get Jersey. Jersey Mike's way, right?
When they ask you, so you get it Mike's way?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know when they ask me that, when I tell them,
what's that? Ray's way?
I am not even fucking with you. I looked them right in the eye. No, I want it Ray's way. And they're like so confused. So then I tell them what I want. But when they're like, you want it Mike's way? So they can just like a mindless brain, fucking dead idiots, put my sandwich together. No. Listen and hear. I want it Ray's way. I don't say that part, but I said, you want it Mike's way? No, I want Ray's way. And it fucks with them. It makes me laugh.
That Chinese food next to the pet store is kind of suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Dog in there. Yeah.
Hey, South Park fucking told us, man. The fucking Japanese guy was going to the Chinese guy. At least I don't serve cats as Kung Pao chicken.
JD, I'm Scottish, Irish, and German. I love spicy shit. I hate bland food, breaking the stereotypes. GT says, I'm Mexican. We'll never break the stereotype. Love beans, rice, and tacos.
Yeah.
GT, that you do, and we all do, right? Hold on a second. I got something for you.
Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
Taco. GT, you can give me your taco flavor kisses whenever. I know you gave your wife those tonight, so that was probably really hot and heavy, huh?
GT, let Ray make you some tacos and some beans. I will make you very.
Stop eating bread, kids. I'm 258. Started in June, so it's been less than a year. He started in June at 322, so the motherfucker's lost 64 pounds. If my math's correct.
Good job, brother.
He's cut out all carbs, but I love bread. It makes you feel so full. It's like opioids, dude. It's like fucking heroin. It just, you feel so full and just chill. It's not good for you though, but I love it. I love pizza too. I can't ever not eat pizza.
Yeah, well, again, bread that was made when our parents and grandparents were growing up, yeast, flour, sugar, water. Now it's a laundry list of fucking ingredients, including those 4 you can't pronounce. So, mouth, that's a smart thing to do. If it was normal carbs, mouth, flour, water, sugar, yeast to make bread, nobody would have a problem.
Jonathan's shit haven't had bread, pasta, or refined sugar in 14 years. Jonathan's a very fit individual from what I've seen. So actually, you don't really fit the mold of most of our fans. So maybe, Jonathan, I have to demote you from fanatic down to pro again because you're saying, I'm just kidding. You know what? More power to you. You probably look a lot better than I do in a swimsuit. So, bread and butter. I love bread and butter. Oh my God, bread and butter. Just,
dude, sourdough, bro. Sourdough is the elite bread.
Dude, I like done when well. My parents live in Arizona, so I don't get a lot of family meals with them. But like my family knows if I'm going to be eating, like there'll be, let's say 20 pieces of bread out for 6 of us. Like I'm going to have 10 of them. or 8 of them. So they have to have more because I will eat, especially if it's warm bread, right? You warm up the bread, the butter melts on. Oh my God. Whenever I go to an Italian restaurant, especially like Olive Garden, the breadsticks, I'm good for 7 or 8 of those.
Have you ever been to Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah, dude, that shit's delicious.
Those rolls with that cinnamon fucking butter, bro, is fucking way deathly addictive. By the way, Rob, they sell that.
Making me hungry.
And I'm letting you know, they sell that now. Like if you went to Jewel and looked in their butter section, I'd be willing to bet you might be able to find Texas Roadhouse cinnamon butter.
How much do you weigh, Jonathan? Give me your dimensions. You know, you people ask, remember back in the day on AOL, age, sex, location, ASL. I want to know your dimensions.
ASL. Shout out to an
6 foot 170 is my guess. Are you 6 foot 170? I am 6 foot 250. Ray, are you 6'2"?
6'2", 300. Yep.
Hey, you got to be more than 300. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way. You're only 50 pounds more than me, and you're 2 inches taller, and you're way bigger.
Well, I went to the doctor. Was it last week? And I was 3. Yeah, I was like 312. So
312 is not 300. I get it. You know what the difference is? I'm a very hard-bodied dude. Like we know, it's like I am just very like I have a gut, but it's like solid. Like which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But it's nice though is when I did lose weight because I got down to like 212 last year, and like you know like a lot of people when they lose weight you get all the extra skin because it's like I don't get that. My belly just shrinks, so I do like that. I'm just kind of a rock solid human. I think 200 is ideal for me. I gotta lose 50 pounds, and I could do that in 5 months. I feel like because I've lost 30 pounds. Just eating cereal, which I know isn't exactly like the healthiest option, like cereal and fruit, and just skipping meals and doing a little exercising. But I'm also going to be 38. By the way, my birthday is on Thursday, right? I'll be 38. So we could maybe do a birthday stream. I'm going to see a Alice in Chains. It's not the actual Alice in Chains band. It's like a cover band at Arcata. Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots cover band. It's like $17. So I'm going to be pretty lit, but we can maybe do a stream or I'll probably be on there. You know, why the fuck not? My birthday.
Oh, but I'll be on there?
Hey, you want to come on? It's going to be late. Thursday. It's going to be late, so I know you have to work in the morning.
Thursday I can do.
Yeah. JD, this is true. Yeah, the problem is we got to pay extra to have healthier food or just make it ourselves. Yeah, or you go to, the health food store, right? Like, and it just Rob, shit's so expensive.
Let me explain real quick. So, if you guys do not know this, in the 80s, when the tobacco companies were running high as fuck, making all the billions of dollars they were making, that's when the health crisis for smoking cigarettes came into play. And so what happened is that all the tobacco companies started losing millions, billions of dollars, and they were fucking just drowning. And so what happened is that they thought to themselves, hey, so instead of giving, because honestly, in my opinion, Rob, the reason cigarettes were even like never like fucked with until then, they had some sort of agreement with fucking the health system because, hey, we'll give our people cancer. You guys take care of it, kick us back money, and we're all good. I know it sounds fucked up to say, but this is how I truly think with these high up fucking businesses. So more importantly, though, in the 80s, the fucking tobacco companies, when they were drowning, they bought all of the food processing companies. And so what happened after that? Go ahead and do your little research. All the adhesives, all the horrible oils, everything that has been killing us much faster than our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents happened to be, says since the 80s, everything has become much more toxic, like to make shelf life longer, everything that kills us much faster, but helps their product keep on longer. So that is why healthier foods and everything is much more expensive because all the easy accessible food that's cheaper is fucked up because of that. Instead of if that never happened, who knows what would be the way now. But the tobacco companies and all that shit that are now, they're probably all different company names. But when we talk big business and politics and all this shit, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These companies that are so big, so crazy, they fuck everything up.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, then.
You just take it easy, man.
You know, that's your answer for everything, dude. And let me point out something. Pacifism is not, look at our current situation with that camel fucker in Iraq. Pacifism is not something to hide behind.
Just take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude.
Yeah, waving the fucking gun around?
Calmer than you are.
I gotta say, I've never seen a more accurate depiction of you and me. Boom.
Yeah.
You
know what you are? You're actually, I always call you Seth from Superbad, which is accurate, but you're actually a mix between Seth from Superbad and then Walter from Big Lebowski. That is you. And also you have some John Candy mixed in because you're such a lovable guy. So like those three guys all wrapped into one. That's
I guess the last one, the last one's what I'll take because that's the only good part you said, but okay. Nobody likes those other two people. So thanks.
No, come on. Walter's such a lovable. He's such a good dude in Big Lebowski. He cares for the dude so much. And then Seth's an all-time icon in high school. Come on, man. We have Jonathan 6'2", 196. So Jonathan, that's a very nice ratio there. So Jonathan, what I'm gonna need you to do here is send us a shirtless selfie in the Discord to prove this. Also, I'm very curious. I won't take it in the bathroom.
Really,
I want to see.
Let me rephrase what Rob just said. Just send Rob a DM of this because, not to say that
okay, just a DM.
I'm interested
or a dick pic too.
Okay,
I'm with a dick pic too.
There's the you know what, everybody. There's the real revelation of what was wanted. He just wanted a dick pic.
Your hands are what makes it possible. Your shoulder pads are hard and stiff. Your hands are tender and they can move and caress the ball. that's kind of gay, but hey.
Dude, so do you think with that? I've always thought I keep forgetting to ask you this. Do you think with that clip that the two guys that were really talking that they were just like buddies like us, and like you or I said that, and the other guy was like, that was really gay, or it was just some dude where they really weren't actually like friends, and just like was like, Jesus, that was fucking gay, dude. Like, what are you talking about, man? I'm hoping
there's been a lot of broadcasters that actually don't get along, and I go back to Steve Stone and Hawk Harrelson. They hated each other. Good broadcast, but they hated each other, and we've seen that for years with some of these guys. But the best broadcast teams are the ones that get along.
Yeah, dude, that's why Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer for the Bears, just any radio local broadcast is the best because those people care and they love it and they get into the shit. I'm saying, like the Bears, dude, Paul Allen, am I wrong? I think that's his name, up in Minnesota. Dude, that his fucking radio calls are amazing. Not that I'm happy to hear them because they're usually the Vikings kicking ass, but
I bet Aikman hates Buck. I bet Aikman hates Buck because Buck is a pretentious prick.
Yeah, well, when he said that Randy Moss should have been kicked out of the league for fake mooning, I hated Joe Buck from there as well. So.
That's a disgusting act.
Oh my God.
Do anything.
So disgusting.
What a clown. You know
dude,
what?
If you would have
Joe Buck is an all-time announcer. I love Joe Buck, but he is an idiot. Like, this dude takes himself so goddamn serious. Dude.
I am very upset that one of my favorite teams, the Cubs, their only World Series win in my life, that asshole's on call. Always would have been too. Just not happy about that. I hate him. He is very good at what he does.
330. I've been big since I was like 5 years old. I'm not a picky eater. He's probably a solid individual. Dean with a little bit of not a positive story, but we appreciate you sharing. My best friend died at 39, basically ate himself to death, refused to be honest with himself about his weight, 6'4", 350. That is an offensive lineman. Unfortunately, those offensive linemen are actually peak physical condition. And they always lose all the weights. Remember Tom Thayer, the old Bears great? If you see that guy now, he's like 220. That guy was an offensive lineman. Steroids
most old linemen, when they retire from the NFL, they turn skinny pretty damn quick.
Yeah, because you got to think all the calories and everything that all the calories they're consuming to maintain this weight. No one that is that athletic is naturally that big. They're all big guys, 260, 270. They go up to 6'5", 340, 330, 320. It's wild. The size of these motherfucking left tackles now is just and then you got Kyler behind this. These guys.
Well, dude, and then it's like you have something like Jonathan Ogden, who was 6'8" in his day. Like, damn, it's a tackle. It's like 6'8", 340, 330.
GT says, this is how I know everyone here is white. Everyone is over 5'10". True, we're all kind of taller, but I love how we have some diversity with GT. We did have Joe Blacko. Joe Blacko was a Patreon member for a month, and I think maybe I said something. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to pay the $10, which is a fucking value for the bets you're getting. you know, I'm an equal opportunity guy. I make fun of white people. I make fun of women. I make fun of everyone, dude. Trannies, definitely trannies. They're very easy. Again, Dave Chappelle said it best. I can't stop telling jokes about these N-words, right? Like, it's true because they're so easy to make fun of, and also make fun of my fat ass. So that's just life, man. So you can't take it. You can't take it. GT, we appreciate the diversity. You're such a big valued member. Also, thank you for the super. He's such a we love GT. What a guy. What a find. We appreciate you in the community. And for years and years to come, I hope.
Agreed. Ray concurs.
The Boston Strangler. Watch out for this guy. Wouldn't you rather live your life smoking, drinking, eating bad food than being healthy, jogging, eating leaves, and dying of a heart attack jogging because you took the vaccine? Well, that's true. That's a whole different conversation. So I guess the thing is probably don't take the vaccine. There's a middle ground. The idea is middle ground. You want to still enjoy your life because if you go too hard, you know, you always have those guys, you know, think of prime athletes with cancer at 34. Like those guys have never done a drug in their life. They're always a doctor and they die. Then you have a guy, like I said, Hunter S. Thompson, fucking partying his ass off and living till 67. The only reason he died is because he killed himself. Like Hunter S. Thompson might have lived to 80, dude. Right? And like, so it's also genes. It's genetic lottery. Live every day like it's your last, but don't do it to extremes. And I need to work on that a little bit with the drinking. And I'm trying to. I also just like to have a good time. And it's about balance. And I think the main word is moderation. And I struggle with moderation with everything I've ever done, with sex, with masturbating, with binging TV shows, with fantasy football, with golfing, with whatever the hell it is. Moderation is an issue in our society and in life. And it's, you know, everyone has an addictive personality to a point. And it's just identifying that you have that is the first step, right? That's the first step in recovery or getting better. And a lot of people just are in denial, and I understand it because I probably am too. So,
yeah, unfortunately, that is life. But hey, I mean, he's not wrong, dude. That vaccine fucked up so many people because it went straight for the heart and the immune system. And people our age are dying of cancers and shit, dude. And people just dropping dead. Like, I try to warn people, but you know, I was against science. Yeah, I was a fucking guinea pig. How about that?
Let's see here. Food is expensive. Everyone can agree regardless of how much you buy at a time. It's very expensive unless you go to China House where we went to and we had $18 buffet and just crushed.
Bro, we
like
know that that
plates.
chicken was cat, you know, that beef was dog, you know, who knows?
All right, we have caught up to the comments. We almost did almost 3 hours in the show, which again, the length of the shows are actually shorter this time of year than typical. You know, a lot of those streams are over 3 hours during the season. But 3 hours is fine. We'll answer a few more questions for you guys. And tomorrow night, there will be no show. But Monday, we're coming back with Big Ray and Mike Storey. It'll be another kind of open bar show because I want to talk some football. We're also going to do our top acting performances of all time, sprinkled in little 30-minute segments of all of our top 5 lists. Some surprises on that list, Mike Storey and Big Ray. It's going to be a great time. And then next week, like I said, it is my birthday week, but I'm still going to be on 3 or 4 times. You know me, maybe 5 times. And then after that, guys, we're into April.
Did you just say birthday week? How fucking old are you, bro?
Well, no, my wife likes doing nice things. I know. It sounds like
one
a chick.
fucking day.
Sounds like a chick.
Yeah,
that sounds like a chick
I'm glad you.
Hey, you ever accidentally masturbate to young pictures of your mom?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
I mean, I guess you could pull that fucking clip out for that conversation, but
no, yeah, exactly. But so Erica likes to do things, like a couple dinners, and we have our Thursday, we're going to the concert. And then like the weekend, her sister are coming over, we party. So that's a night that I maybe can come on. I'm saying there's a couple nights that I won't normally have something going on. I'll still be on. So anyway, get a couple more comments and we'll answer them. But yeah, so we'll be no show tomorrow night, but we'll do another live draft day during the week, as well as the Monday show, which is gonna be great. Okay. I take back the birthday week thing. I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying that like the whole week isn't in question, but Thursday I'm going to a concert. Friday I'm having my brother-in-law and sister-in-law over. So those are 2 nights that I'm always doing a show that I might not do at least one night.
I'm just glad that people heard what you said and took offense to that. You're a goddamn man, okay? day.
It was a very feminine comment. It was a very because I hate people that say that, so I actually hate myself.
Oh, I have people that I know that are family friends that say birthday month. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Month? You want everybody to celebrate a goddamn month for all of you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it. I take it back, and I just like cut it and just like go. I'm gonna delete this stream now just because of that. So, and Jonathan says, "Hey girl, hey, hey girl, do I have a clip that would be very? Let's see here. Let's see. I don't have anything.
I see you, Mouth. Update these clips. I see what you're saying. I love you, Mouth.
Speaking of girl stuff, here's a good girl one.
A fur shrug with crocheted sleeves, a hat on a hat, a watch on your pinky toe. And nothing says, look at me, I've been places, like 2 lit road flares hanging from your sunglasses.
You can't take it back. People don't forget. Hey, Greg, why don't you go piss your pants again? Dude, that was the asshole. That was like 8 years ago. People don't forget.
People don't forget.
That is James Franco's younger brother, I believe. I don't know his name, but the young Franco.
I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for one.
So I've got a hey girl, hey. I've also got I'm a sorority sister now. And like that's just that's good.
Hey, your
that's
true
good. You know what?
self
I
is
can
just
take it.
coming
I
out.
can take it.
Your true self is coming out.
I can make jokes about myself. I can make all the jokes about myself, and I'm totally
talking
comfortable
about
with
banging
it.
dudes earlier. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
I was talking about banging dudes.
To me, oh, did I say that to the public? My bad.
Oh no, I said no. What I said was if I was gonna go the other way. Now I'll tell the story. Actually, I'll tell the story to end the show.
I know I'm
funny.
lying,
So
everybody, but he'll give you.
No, my wife called me and she's a mail carrier. She delivers mail. And there's this guy that she used to bowl with. I bowled in a separate league, but same bowling alley, same night. She bowled in a co-ed league, and her and my buddy's mom, and then another woman that's like in her 60s, and then this guy, right? What the hell is his name? I don't know his name. Anyway, he was in the team. He was in the team, and he was kind of fat, tall, but like 55, 60 years old, longer hair. And I was telling him, I froze. Hold on. Let me switch my camera up because you got to see me on this one. It's a great story. It's a great story. He's a great dog. He's a great
story. It is a phenomenal story.
So I was trying to convince all the women on the team that this dude's gay. And they're like, no, he was married before. I'm like, he's fucking gay as hell. Nothing wrong with it. I don't care. I'm just saying he's gay. And they're like, no. So anyways, fast forward 5 years. She's delivering mail, and she's delivered to him a couple times. She doesn't have her own route. She kind of jumps around. And there's a Victoria's Secret package going to his house. And so this all happens. She calls me, like, kind of like startled on the phone. I'm like, what happened? She's like, so this happened. So I delivered mail to him, and I was like, she's like, you remember him? His name's Steve. Steve, I think. And I was like, yeah, I know him. And she's like, so I delivered mail to him, and it's a Victoria's Secret thing. And he lives alone. And it was like for
different. Brenda or something. Yeah, Brenda.
Yeah, Brenna. And she's like, and my wife's a fucking sweetheart, and she's rather innocent and like doesn't think these things about people. And she's like, oh, is this for like your niece or something, or like, you know, something, or girlfriend? And he's like, no. And he like got embarrassed, and he's like, no, it's for my dog. And she's like, my dog. And she at the time is putting 2 and 2 together. He's a fucking crossdresser, so he's getting fucking shit to wear and totally gay. And again, I was right. My gaydar was on. So that got me and you to talking, and I was like, again, I'm not into any of this stuff, but if I was gonna go the other way, I would much rather have a guy wearing lingerie and having a wig than just having short hair. You know what I mean? At least that's a little bit feminine. Like, I'm not saying I want to do any of these things.
So you're saying that you would bang the cop in South Park when he goes and gets fucked by all the sorority guys to bust them for hiring a hooker? Like, you'd be that guy and be okay?
How about this? I would rather bang Mrs. Garrison than Mr. Garrison. Right?
I mean, you saw his tits.
Person.
You saw his tits.
The misshaped nipples and shit.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm making sure we're down with it. Yeah, you're down with that. Okay. I'm just Sesame Timbers had to.
I'm not down with it. I'm just saying if I had to choose, I'm choosing the wig and lingerie over no wig and no lingerie. At least then I have something for my imagination.
Hey, we had the conversation on the golf course, and we both agreed when that happens, you think in your head you're always banging a girl. The other way, you know you're not banging a girl. I mean, in reality, you're still going to guy's ass. You ain't banging no girl, but at least
Yeah, and like I would much prefer the ass to be trimmed. Like if you get a hairy asshole, you know you're banging a dude. At least if it's trimmed, you can be like, this could be a girl's asshole, right? Now, other funny story. I dated a Polish chick, Amelia, for like 4 months, and she was just fresh off a breakup with she was dating an Indian guy. Hadn't had sex for like the last 2 years of her marriage. So this girl was hungry, super hot, like a supermodel, dude, like 5'10", and super hot, super well manicured, dude. Everything. Her butthole was hairy. It's weird, bro. Everything was always shaved perfect. She smelled great, super fresh, but she had a hairy asshole. She had like the nicest ass. So every time I did doggy, and I like to have the lights on, I just see a hairy asshole. And it was like the one, and I couldn't, what am I supposed to, am I supposed to tell her this? Be like, by the way, babe, your asshole's hairy?
Yes.
It was like not as hairy as ours.
No.
I can't tell her that.
Yes.
But
tell her I ain't going
it
back
was the
there
point
again.
where she might be getting
that
dingleberries.
Yeah.
It wasn't a forest. I'm saying it wasn't like my hairy asshole, but it was a little hairy.
That means there's no.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was between what it should be, which is no hair or little hair, a girl, and what I have, right? That's kind of what it. Yeah. So anyway, that was like the one. Like that was the one negative. But she had a hairy butthole. But it just like it didn't fit. Like, because I've been with some stinkers in my day that should have hairy buttholes, and they had fine buttholes. And like this chick that was like a 9. And everything was perfect, and like she was really about her all these nice outfits and like all this shit. Hairy butthole just made no sense. And I didn't want to not doggy because that was the best feature of her, right? It was the butt.
Just to be sure, to double down what GT asked, are you banging Robin Williams or Miss Doubtfire?
Oh, and talk about a hairy butthole. I guarantee Robin Williams' butthole was a forest. That dude had hairy knuckles.
Yeah.
Definitely banging Mrs. Doubtfire, bro. Like, I'm not banging Robin Williams as a guy. I'm not banging him. But at least Mrs. Doubtfire had that kind of charming accent, you know? So it's going to be Mrs. Doubtfire for me, bro. Although she was also playing like a 68-year-old. He was playing a 68-year-old woman, and Robin Williams was technically like a 40-year-old man. So how does the age factor in? I think I'm going to go with the woman, even though it wasn't a woman. But she was playing a woman. He was playing a woman. Good movie, by the way. Hector just joined. He said I joined the stream at the perfect time. It's an open bar show, so you just don't know what you're going to get. And the boss man says it means she trimmed her own cooch but didn't pay attention to the backside. Well, and also, no, here's the thing. I think girls genetically don't have hairy buttholes. I'm not saying that they don't. Obviously, this one did. A lot of them don't have to trim their butthole because they're not men like us. You know what I'm saying? So she just something about her. She just got the opposite of winning the genetic lottery. She lost that part. And she must have been pretty hairy, but I'm saying it was like her pussy was like wax, bro. Like always, there was never anything there.
Rob, what you really need to say is that most men have dirty, dark, black holes on their assholes. Women do not.
Correct. Yeah.
You look into
like Artemis and Sonny. I got a bleached asshole.
Yeah, Artemis.
Hey guys, I got a bleached
Can
asshole.
we not talk about our bleached assholes or anything like that? Hey, I got
Boston. Yeah, man.
I gotta take a piss. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Forearms are a dead giveaway. Although most girls do shave their they shave their forearms if they have hairy, because that's not a good look. Is the hairy forearms? Now Robin Williams would have the worst because holy fuck, that would be insane. Forearms do tell all. Oh yeah, weird conversation. We had a weird show, but that's kind of what you guys would all expect from us here on a Saturday in March. Not a lot of football stuff to talk about, so can see that they shave it. Not if they do it every day, I don't think. I'm not also an expert in the subject. True, but always like when a dude has a huge beard and no arm hair. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I actually don't. I'm not a very hairy guy. I have a nice beard, but I don't really have a hairy chest. It's normal hair, you know. I don't have the hairiest legs, but I do have some dark hairs. You don't want to have the guys that don't have any leg hair. That's a little weird and feminine. Unless they're swimmers. We all know they shave that shit. Anyways, a couple more minutes in the show. Guys, if you are not in the community, you're not in the Discord, you have not joined the Patreon, support the show and be a part of this. Boston Strangler, Dean, JD, some of the other guys. Hetzer, shout out Hetzer who just joined. And Hetzer can vouch for it. Hetzer, how great is the Discord? Let all these fine people know. And how happy are you for joining? GT's in there. Mouse, obviously, in there. Jonathan's a professional fanatic in there. So yeah, professionalfanatics.com, or just go to the description of this video possibly won't discount the theory. Yeah, so the Hetcher says it is the place to be. It is the place to be. Keep the show going strong, guys, so I can keep on going to this shit full time for years to come. One more shout out to the peeps. Appreciate all of you guys. And as well as what you're going to get, man, this is just part of it. If you want to play fantasy leagues with us, with the community, you want access to all 7 of the co-hosts in DMs, draft help. If you get up to a higher tier, we will draft your teams with you, my dudes. If you want to come on the show as a guest and talk some shit with us, whether it's football or hairy ass arms or hairy buttholes on Polish chicks, you can do that. And the free merchandise giveaways, guys. We have shirts. I'm giving these away every single month. Shirts, hats. You can buy the shirts. I don't have enough hats to sell. Super cheap, but also the hats I'm giving away every month. These are solid ass fucking hats. I'll mail everything to you for free for your support, and you can rep the channel, professionalfanatics.com. Also, shout out to Downtown Sports. Give them a listen every single Tuesday on 23 platforms, specifically Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And the last perk I didn't mention is my bets, guys. 96 and 58. We making all the money, boys. Every year, winner, winner, winner. These are not alternate lines. These are all prop bets. I know fantasy. I don't bet lines. That's why I bet prop bets. We're winning money. Follow it. Make money. You'll make more than what it costs to get in. I can guarantee you that. Jay says player props alone are well worth the Discord. Yeah, player props are $10 a month. And that also gets you other things. But that gets you onto the feed that I post whenever I make the bet, whether it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m., you get the actual ticket. I'm not bullshitting these bets. You can get the same exact odds, 100%. And JD, yeah, Discord, I was never on it, honestly, and someone recommended I should do this, and I wanted to start a chat for the people. We all love our fantasy football group chats. It's like a big one. It's huge. There's 70 people in there. I'm going to cut that down and make it only Patreon, only here in a month, so there's still going to be 30 people in there. It's in the football season. It's very active. There's only like 2 or 3 hours during the day there's no conversation going, and then you can all connect with each other. A lot of people have their own conversations. You get to know people. You play video games, find people that play your game, whatever the hell it is, man. It's just a way to connect the peeps that like this show, like-minded individuals. What do you got, Ray?
6 people are on right now, which are probably majority everybody in the chat, but nonetheless, I don't care. 6 people are on at 2:30 in the morning right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just
so, but during the season, like the sit questions that we can't, we get to all these in the show, but
people start chatting. I would say 5 a.m. and stop chatting at like 2 to 3 a.m.
3.
There's like 2 to 3 hours.
2 hours.
There's just not that basically in the dead middle of the night from like 3 to 5 a.m., 6 a.m. People aren't really talking, and then the East Coast people wake up. They start posting shit, and then as people see it, start waking up through the whole day. As you know, from East Coast to West Coast, by 10 o'clock, it is fucking crazy. Dude, the whole day at that point, 10 a.m. and 9 a.m. till fucking past midnight.
Answer, in the regular season, we're on 7 nights a week. So you're going to get all these like start sit questions live every night. But there's some trade offers that you get. You don't want to wait 6 hours to get the answer or get other people's opinion. But the thing is, sometimes we get biased on our own players, our own teams, having other people evaluate the trade. And also the nice thing is you can give me start sit questions here and trade questions, but I don't know. It's harder for me to give you an accurate answer if I don't know your roster. On the Discord, you can post a picture of your roster, of your settings, and not send a fucking paragraph to me where I can only spend 2 or 3 minutes per question. I can spend 10 minutes in Discord diving in for you. Since you support me, I'm going to support you. We all want to make money. The point is, the more money you make, the more you're going to give back to me. And last year, we had a hell of a year, dude, in fantasy with our players. Shout out Chris Olave. Shout out George Pickens. Shout out Javonte Williams. And I'm still going to say shout out Tucker Kraft. And my boy Michael Wilson, who, as we know, we all in this community all made a lot of money because that Michael Wilson call 1 week early before everyone got on him. We all already had him on our fucking roster because Michael Wilson is a fucking god. Fucking love Michael Wilson. God, I love that guy.
So what happens when he blows this year? What are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm not about Michael Wilson this year in fantasy because I changed my opinions year to year. I'm fine with him. I'm fine with him at 70. I'm fine with him in the 70s. I'm more about Marvin Harrison this year in the 50s. Give me Marvin Harrison.
That's fair, my friend.
Yeah, Boston fantasy football starts in July. We'll be getting busy then. 100%. Like I said, getting in now is going to be cheaper because it will go up. But if you want to wait, that's all everyone's prerogative. If you don't want to get it at all, I'm not going to come force you. I don't know your address. I can't do that. Not that I would do it anyway. Unless you had a hairy butthole. In that case, I might want to check it out. Zing.
But
yeah. GT, we all dominated last year, man, and I hope this year is, if this year is 70% as successful as last year with the bets and the fantasy calls, we will still have a great year, because last year was elite. Me and Storey's PPs, Storey was the highest on Jonathan Taylor. He was taking Jonathan Taylor at 8 overall. I said he was crazy for that, but that worked out pretty well for everyone. And yeah, our quarterback calls weren't great, although I was high on Matt Stafford, but I was misses. I had a couple misses in Justin Fields, fucking goddamn it, unreal.
Yeah, well,
all right,
told you.
It's gonna wrap it up. We hit 3 hours. Guys. So, Ray, we had a long day. 18 holes of golf. We were at the fucking buffet for like an hour and a half. I feel like,
and I worked
3 hours on the stream. So great show. And he worked. Yeah, you didn't think you were gonna have to work. So, Jay says played for 28 plus years, and this year was my best by far. Jay, we're gonna keep on building on that. We're gonna dominate, especially home leagues. They're so easy to win, guys. Especially when you have an edge and you have a community and people to rely on. We're going to just keep on destroying. And the nice thing is, I started the streams last year. I started streaming all I streamed 26 of my redraft leagues, I think it was. So almost all but 9 of them. That's when I started. So you guys weren't even, the newer people from that time didn't get all the takes. They saw my drafts, but at that point, everyone was already drafting. You're going to get the draft takes next month. You're going to get all the stuff in May and June and July and get ahead of these guys. And by the time draft season comes, you don't need a fucking cheat sheet. You don't even need a computer. You're going to know exactly who you want to draft and all the winners. And if you want to lose, go check out the Fantasy Football Counselor. Shout out to that fucking clown. You want to be able to draft all rookies and lose? Check him out. He's pretty good. Now, I will say, I will endorse Matt Harmon. If you want to watch another show, also Downtown Sports, watch that show. But Matt Harmon does a daily stream. That dude is the one guy I actually watch religiously because I learn a lot from Matt Harmon. That dude's the best in the business. All right, guys. Ray, thank you. What a great show. GT, Mouth, if you're still in here. Jonathan,
thank everybody for the
some
support.
of the newcomers.
Love you guys
Austin, Hetzer, appreciate you joining the Patreon, the Discord.
Hey,
again, no show tomorrow, but Monday.
Because it's a place to be.
A place to be. No show tomorrow, like I said, but we're going to have Monday's show is going to be an extension of Open Bar with me, Ray, and Mike Storey, talking football, talking some of our favorite acting performances of all time, as well as answering all your questions. Ray, thank you. Thank you to the chat. Appreciate everybody. Love your life. Stay positive. Respect each other. We're out of here.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you want to grab a beer, that's all.
I'm glad you called.
We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right. If you need me, call, okay?